What is up, everyone? Welcome to Masculine Mondays, episode 6. We're talking about Bloodsport 1988, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. And of course, I can't do it alone. I have to do it with my wonderful panel, and I will introduce them as follows. We've got Blue Collar Loser. We've got Whitey the White Bear. We've got Emperor Goodwin. And my tank top brother, Zax, from up north. How y'all doing tonight?
I mean,
oh yeah,
White Bear's my hero.
now.
Quite possibly one of the best and most entertaining scenes in the entire movie.
My God.
My God. Legendary.
Educational.
He's
You do not want
Yeah.
you do not want the dim mock on your balls. That's not what you're looking for. That actually he doesn't kill him with that. He actually killed his kid about 10 years later from the death touch.
True story. Frank Dux ended bloodlines in
Yes.
this moment in real life. Imagine that.
He's an amazing man, Frank Dux. He did a lot of stuff.
He did.
A lot of stuff.
He
Very
certainly
involved.
did. And we're going to talk about it all. We're going to kick and punch and scream and drink our way into this hilarious film that I've not seen in a while, but I've seen it many times. And, you know, I wanted to throw this into the mix just because there's not a lot of talking points into it, but there are some. And it does fit the mold, and it shouldn't take us a long time to get through this one. But there again, might as well include something that involves Jean-Claude Van Damme because he was just another big star for that action movie era, and he pulls off some crazy things in his films. Not the best acting or dialogue, but
No.
we got to give him a chance. And
Yeah, we're just here for the character development. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about something.
there's some dialogue, there's some character development. So let's get to the punching. So
Yeah, exactly.
but how are all y'all doing tonight? Good.
Good.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Excellent.
Still hungover from Sammy's news story, but
I heard y'all got drunk last night, huh?
I did something to pickle Rick. I'm not proud of. It's a good thing we're off camera. This poor guy.
What did you do to pickle Rick?
Watch the replay.
Oh,
boy.
no.
I woke up, was like, Sammy, I'm ashamed of myself.
Don't ever
Pickle Rick's lawyer is already filing motions.
Blue, would you rather go through what you endured last night, or would you rather be punched in the nads by Frank Dux?
Considering what Van Damme did, I'll blow this pickle all day long. Like, especially because he's like, oh, like he's yelling too while he's doing
Yeah.
it.
Well,
In
they're
slow
both yelling
motion.
when that happens. It's,
Yep.
When you're buried 3 inches into somebody's taint, it's game over. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
What were you gonna say, Zax?
I was gonna say it's Pride Month, so if you can just push your hips a bit more forward, maybe you get an extra surprise. Maybe he misses the balls and goes right for the action, and you get a free ride. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's June, right? We have to do that kind of stuff in June.
Yeah. This could be a moment of love. We're not sure.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I mean, what if you can't really see it in the angle that White Bear has it on that screenshot, but what if in the event he actually changed his fist to a more like
More of a cupping
like
motion.
finger, like
Yeah.
like
everybody
Yeah.
at a certain age should get that prostate check, and he's just
Yeah.
doing it in the field.
Exactly.
Right.
And the hernia check all at the same time.
And it's free.
cough.
I truly hate the Gourd King.
he did cough. He did cough. Is Gord already saying stuff in chat?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's
Help
get.
himself.
We're gonna see what's up to the people in chat. The Wayfarer 199. Heck yeah, the 199. We got Rick Costa, my buddy Rick. What's going on, man? Rewatch this on Saturday. Awesome movie. If you don't like, you might be gay.
Hey.
That's a fact.
It is June.
If you can't have the kind of bromance that Ray Jackson and Frank Dux has, then you just might be.
Anytime, anywhere.
I'll be there.
With the
Jacob.
love that'll see you through.
This guy just hit 500 subs. Like, about
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Ooh, man.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, brother. Congrats on that. Dude.
Yeah.
Took long enough.
And of course, we got Zach C up in the
It
chat.
should be at 5,000.
What's up, ninjas? Yeah, for sure. And we got Big Ben, Jake Martin, Kumite. Absolutely,
Yes.
man.
Kumite.
Whitey's in the chat. We got lunar lucidity. Yes, I made it. Let the blood flow. Absolutely. It's going to be all over the place. By the end
Speaking of the Kumite thing, I'm pretty sure the guy who sings the song for that, right?
Yeah.
Is also the guy who sang the song from Transformers the movie.
Wow.
I'm serious. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy.
Interesting. Interesting. I wonder if someone can look that up.
Yeah.
Gord. I'm just kidding. No, Nelly, Zax and I played Bloodsport in Vegas, but it was martial arts. I mean, I don't know if you could talk about that because some things have to be left in Vegas. So.
Cannoli spelling spurt wrong again.
Where's the bucket of nails, ice and fire and acid, or I forget where they dip their fists in.
Planoli.
Gasoline.
Bullshit is what they put their fists in.
The story is just riding on it. Remember, it's Dukes, not Ducks. Yeah.
We know it's Dukes. Don't worry. We got it's
the duck guy says
inside out.
There's buried that far into someone's taint is a whole different brand of Bloodsport.
It is.
You're not wrong, Gord. You are not wrong.
This tournament only happens once a month.
Yeah. Jamma, what's up, man? How's it going?
Lama.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things in this movie. A lot of corny things that are interesting in this movie. We're not going to talk about them there because it doesn't really have to deal with the theme of masculinity. But I do think that this movie does convey a couple things like excuse me. Having a ritual, showing discipline. We briefly talked about having brotherhood in this film. There's loyalty, right, with Dukes being loyal to Tanaka, and there's a lot of restraint that Dukes has. Not so much Jackson, but I mean, I would even say that Chong Li has some restraint in some cases but it's more of like a chaotic type of masculinity that he has. And
I mean, Chong Li is the hero of this movie, first of all. Yeah. But he has standards, right? I mean,
right.
He's
the Johnny Lawrence.
Yeah. I'm surprised Erwin hasn't done a video review that Chong Li is the actual hero in this film.
He is the hero.
Kind of like his case. Like
I
Rambo
think Jackson might be the unsung hero. Jackson, his buddy, might be the unsung hero of this. Also played by Donald Gibb, who, if you're me and grew up when I did, you watched Revenge of the Nerds quite a bit. There's booze in it.
Nerds.
Yes, and he played Ogre. He had the hero's journey of that film series.
Well,
Ogre
was it the second or third one when he's actually a member of them and they're high on the ceiling? It was, what if CAT really spelled dog? That's deep, Ogre.
He was so good. Ogre. I love that. So those are great movies and full of lessons for adolescent boys.
I did look up Nick. Yes. So the opening song for Bloodsport was sung by this guy named Stan Bush, who also did the touch for Transformers the movie.
Wow.
Fucking good one, man.
I was pretty sure that was true. Yep.
That is really
interesting. I mean, when you have, you've got the touch and then Kumite. I mean, come on. That's how are you not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yeah. No, I always think it's interesting how, as a musician, how certain artists will create these types of songs. And obviously, having been on like a movie with like Transformers and then this as an example, like, they're so different. But I mean, obviously that's the brilliance of music, where like you can just write something for one type of movie and then do something completely different for another type. So it's
and how many artists have been covered by Mark Wahlberg in a movie?
Very true.
Covered with Mark Wahlberg, did you say, or covered by?
Covered by, because he sings the touch in Boogie Nights. When they're coked up and doing the recording at the studio.
My God.
This movie reminds me of my dad every time he knew every stitch of dialogue cold. Hell yeah.
You are next.
I feel like that's like a father's rite of passage, kind of, you know what I mean?
That's the 80s.
Or man's rite of passage. Depending obviously when you grew up too, but Rio, evening, everyone just passing by and leaving a like, wishing you a good stream. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Good to see you, Rio. Hope you have a good evening, man. So for the take of, hey, put up your dukes, right?
Dukes.
Yeah, see?
Frank Dux.
Yeah, for the sake of, again, what this movie has, I was as I was thinking about the real life version of Frank Dux, it's like this movie almost feels like a fable, right? Because it's like none of it's true.
Much like Frank Dukes' life, yes.
Right. So it's just like this is just like a fairy tale of like what Frank Dukes actually wished that his life consisted of. That just this excellent physical prowess. He's got like this like code of honor.
Well, he's killed more people than the plague. He's in the
yeah.
military, and
56
he's
undefeated matches in a row. It's just crazy ass numbers. Like fastest knockout was like, what was it, like 0.12 seconds?
Yeah. They have high speed cameras at the Kumite somehow. I'm not sure, but it's
and like 1980, right? Like I think his roundhouse kick or his kick was like clocked at 72 miles per hour.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And I'm thinking of like real life martial artists that could actually do roundhouse kicks. Like some of the great ones, even in that era, like Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, right? Just to name a couple. Like, I wonder how fast they could actually, kick.
Where do you think they learned how to kick from? Frank Dukes, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, before the legend of Chuck Norris happened, before the speed of Bruce Lee happened, there was Frank Dukes.
Yeah, they were just pale imitations.
Yeah.
I have the secret, guys. If you want to hear the secret of how he did it, he's Canadian, and so it was in kilometers per hour.
Snap!
So much better.
They didn't do the conversion.
Gotcha.
Didn't do the conversion. People assumed he didn't correct, right? It wasn't really a lie. It was an omission.
Yeah. Metric Kumite. That's the worst kind. Yeah.
That makes sense.
If anything, Frank had to slow himself down because no one could believe he was that fast.
No.
That's a good point, Blue. That's a good
He was
point.
limited by the actual measurement machines. He had to slow himself down so he could be measured.
Chuck Norris had to grow a beard after that shit. So.
Right. So that's how Chuck Norris was like, man, learning from Frank Dukes enabled Chuck Norris to grow a beard. So before he was like all baby face, couldn't grow, didn't have a single hair on his face. He did. I don't even know if he had chest hair at that moment either. Maybe I think that's what the moment after he trained with Frank.
No,
Dukes,
I mean when you meet Frank Dukes, then puberty fully hits. Yeah.
Right. No, that checks out.
As you said, Nick, was it 56 KOs? I mean, it was probably more double that, but he had to tone down the numbers.
Right. It's like that. The real number wouldn't be believable. So like, let's kind of like knock it in half, or maybe we'll take like a third off the real number, something along those lines, right?
So if you've actually read up on Frank Dukes and understand some of his shit.
What? What's up, Anthony?
Would you
realize some of it was probably Frank Dukes.
Frank Dukes.
Frank Dukes roundhouse kicked ABF stream.
No.
But so Frank Dukes is a serial fabulist. And one of his initial descriptions about the Kumite, the super secret thing, which by the way he got from another serial fabulist, Count Dante. For those of you who had read comic books in the 70s, you can remember the Count Dante ads that were in there, right? But Count Dante is the one that came up with the whole Black Dragon Society and the idea of the Kumite. Frank Dukes' claim initially was that he had to fight in over 200 fights in the first Kumite, right? There's like, and it's like everybody you get done, you have to fight again in like 15 minutes or 30 minutes or some shit, right? If you do the math, it's like thousands of people. It's like all of Hong Kong was involved in the Kumite, right? It's like, what the hell is going on?
The one Canadian won.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
First time.
The Canadian white guy in Hong Kong.
It was like the UFC though back in the day, where like you'd win because the guy before you couldn't continue, so you move on to the next bracket, and you're in the finals. You didn't fight anybody. That's how it used to roll.
Yeah.
I mean, probably like half his victories were because he's so intense that him just walking into the mat, they just quit. They just
it's just
Listen,
Mate.
His Canadian accent is so bad that they had to have Jean-Claude Van Damme's accent.
Yes.
No, I would never. Oh, hi, Mark.
I did not hit her.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Mark.
Wow.
There's some gun talk. Interesting.
Do you guys
Boom.
remember watching this movie and believing it was true?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
because
100%.
yeah, me too. I was like,
Yeah.
"Holy," and then like, of course this isn't true. But like at the time, it was like it said it's true. It's a true story. It says before the movie starts.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
they would
wow.
get sued if they put that up there and it wasn't true, right? I mean, come
That's
on,
right,
it's
yeah.
That's what I'm saying, Zach. This film came out when I was 5. So, like,
What's up,
Well,
Dax?
yeah, I saw this in the theater.
Yeah. I didn't.
VHS baby.
I don't think I saw this until I was maybe I know I was in high school, so I was probably like 15, maybe. 'Cause, yeah, I was like 3 when this came out. So
Yeah,
TNT, TBS.
me and my
USA.
buddies went to go see this because we were all like 17, 18 when this came out. And, oh, yeah, you come out and you're like, of course. Oh, my God, did you see those stats? It's crazy or whatever. But understand, we grew up under the Ninja Menace. We understood what
Yeah.
was going on, right? And the Canon Group was a documentary outfit who made many good
He's so
documentaries.
right though. This was our world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Gets it. Yeah.
yeah. I don't think I learned this like Frank Dux was a fraud probably up until like maybe like the mid 2000s when the internet was more accessible, you know.
Yeah, only I mean, really, Frank Dux and his steaming pile of bullshit. I mean, the epic, like the Mount Everest of bullshit. It could only exist because you're pre-internet, right? That the idea, Zach's is right. I mean, the idea that there's some secret thing going on in Hong Kong that we don't know about, and we don't have 1 billion plus people with cameras walking around, all this stuff, right? It's absolutely believable. In the same way that probably somewhere in Japan, ninjas are still training. That shit's going on, right? It's all real, of course it is, right? It's
That was the real world. That's what we knew.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy though.
It may not have been the truth, but it was what the truth wanted to be.
Right. The legend of Frank Dux wanted to exist,
Mhm.
and it did for a time until
And then fact checking became a thing, and what the hell?
yeah, wait a second, this doesn't add up. Like, wait a second, hold on. Frank Dux just trying to survive by sharing a story.
He had a good
Yeah,
run.
and-
though Frank Dux did. If you look at it, like he played this out, like he played the long game very well.
He did, and I think the crazy thing too was that he had the audacity to try and sue Jean-Claude Van Damme for this. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
really, dude?
I
Like,
know it.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
I mean, the funny thing is that so he was the producer. They actually had written a different movie, and Dukes was an advisor on this movie, and talked with the producer and all that stuff. And Frank's bullshit was so magnificent. The producer's like, you know what? The hell with this script we had before. We're just writing Frank's life here, right? And
New story.
that's how we got this movie. So kudos to Frank Dukes. His
Started
bullshit gave us this
Started
magnificence.
ad-libbing all the dialogue.
Yeah.
There was always that kid in school who would be like, yeah, my dad was like a Navy SEAL Army Ranger, Green Beret, and he can kill you like in one hit. This movie kind of epitomizes that. And also, that kid, if he grew up, he would have made this movie right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They never grew up.
Yeah, the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is 14-year-old teenage material, just perfect, right? I mean, this is
Yeah.
this is how you see the world, this is how manly you can be, and all this stuff, right? It is a power fantasy of biblical proportions.
Yeah, it's kind of right. Like with it, when like Dax just said, it's a unfortunate thing that it's all bullshit. But we got a funny movie, an action movie out of it that it is rewatchable. There's a lot of crazy moments to talk about just and laugh at, really, like because of the lines in this movie too. Which the crappy part of trying to clip or to get clips with it is there's a lot of music over a lot of the fighting, and so I had to splice a couple things here and there. But the funny parts, there's no music over them, which was like, oh, that's cool. I can clip that without error.
Or maybe just like a synth sting or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So like for example, where he's like screaming, or he's like, say it, you know, like there's like the synth that's just kind of dragging out a little bit before it hits the next key. And YouTube didn't detect that, thankfully.
Nice,
so
excellent.
you know, and I'm like, all right, but
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I mean, I don't think you have the UFC without this movie. Or the whole idea of a mixed style, because like the early UFC is literally Bloodsport, right? It is no weight class, any style goes, right? And you had like, you know, little tiny guys that were Taekwondo versus sumo wrestler.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. I loved those like UFC 1 through like 5 were magnificent in their absurdity, and they very much were just Bloodsport except real.
Yeah, plus, too, like watching this Amazon, you have the Amazon, the fact check right there, and it says right there, like, you know, of course, Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat was made based on Van Damme from this film.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Pancrase was the first one. I think that's where UFC Pride stole their ideas from. But yeah, I take your meaning.
I mean, that's why there's an audience, right? You had a generation that watched this and were like, "Oh shit, what? They are actually doing it? Now I got to see it." You know?
Yeah. Prophetic and pathetic. What's up, man? Without Frank Dux, we never would have bought Steven Seagal's BS, thus depriving us of the greatest action hero ever.
Well, yeah.
Seagal was before Dukes, though.
So did Dukes copy?
Was he really?
Seagal?
Yeah, Above the Law, I think, was 87.
Let me check. Let me see.
Interesting.
I miss those days when he can kill a guy like
Slapback,
8 guys
what's
with a
up,
credit
dude?
card.
Yeah.
That was cinema.
Yeah.
Actually, Above the Law was
Don
80,
Fry.
was 88.
Was it the same year?
Yeah. Damn.
Also salty. What's up, man?
What were the release dates? Because for some reason, I'm pretty sure I saw Above the Law before this.
Look it up for
Featuring Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds.
Okay,
Yep.
so Above the Law was April 8th, 1988. All right, Bloodsport now. April. February. So technically,
Really?
So Bloodsport came out. Yeah, technically first.
Interesting. That's interesting. So there's not a lot of main characters in this. We obviously have Frank Dux, Ray Jackson, and Chong Li. We've got Janice Kent, and then Sensei Tanaka, basically, and a couple other like minor characters, you know, sprinkled around.
Yeah, their fixer.
Yeah. We've got the two agents trying to get Dukes back into the U.S. With their crazy ass looking
Forrest Whitaker.
tasers.
Yeah.
Forrest Whitaker. That's
why Forrest Whitaker has that eye.
Frank Dukes gave Forrest Whitaker the lazy eye. Fact. He just can't say it. Whitaker can't say that because Dukes might actually sue him for that, even though.
Yeah, well, he'll do the other eye.
I already told you once, Forrest.
It's going to look like Pennywise from It, you know.
Yeah.
The dancing clown. Right, what's up, man?
I told you once, Forrest. Once.
Yeah. Leon rated us into a video that got blocked. Well, Leon has low T, and isn't masculine, so that's his fault.
I guess ABF's taken down or something like that. That's
Yeah.
really shitty, whatever happened there.
Yeah. Oh.
Good old YouTube.
Yeah, good old
many people like
YouTube. You know, that's why we had a multi-stream elsewhere, and
More people are making Rumble accounts.
yeah,
I mean, you have to. You have to have a backup.
100%. Yep. So the first like real scene that has talking points is essentially the training of young Frank, and you know, it's
Boy, those are rough watches.
The best acting in the movie here.
Yeah. Young Frank Dux is
boy.
peak.
it is a little rough. Unfortunately, you know, there's a lot of interesting moments in this beginning phase here. This is just like the intro of all the fighters kind of getting ready to show you where you know, where they're coming from, the masculine strength that they possess, you know.
Man, shouts out to Chong Li, because the actor was also in Enter the Dragon. And
Yeah.
he was a unit in that, but holy shit, is he a unit in this one, man?
Yes.
Let's see his stats when I look him up.
Yes.
End up inspiring Terry Crews to flex his nips.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
And this might fit the theme of the month because this private here goes to try and take a peek at Frank Dux in the shower.
Oh,
I mean,
Little
as
peek-a-peek.
one would.
why are you gay?
It's just
Like, it's not gay if you're looking at Frank Dukes.
maybe he just wanted to catch a glimpse at I don't know what he's packing there, but
Yeah, his Duke. Yeah.
yeah, it's but frankly he was disappointed. Frankly, just kidding.
Nick, one thing I do like is the fact that they show the fighters. It's not like everyone's just boxers; they're all like karate guys. Everyone has different styles. I do like showing everybody brings something different to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, the African guy doing like monkey style fighting, that was wrong. That we can't have that. I mean, that's just too much.
Yeah.
Remember how they sold us on doing the splits and how it was manly?
Oh God, I remember that.
Yeah, try
What a
adding that to your
man.
workout routine. Nah, I'm good.
No.
It's this moment of reflection that Frank has here because he and his two buddies tried to steal this sword, and
they're shit at it because they
Is
drop
that
it
Eli
and
Manning?
run. It could be Eli Manning.
That's Eli Manning.
I mean, he does have dumb face.
and
does.
the Giants shirt on.
Yeah.
Doesn't know how to really talk much.
Well, does he know that his future training is going to cure his autism?
Well, he's also wearing a San Francisco Giants hat, I believe,
Yeah,
right?
bipolar.
So he
Bipolar.
went double Giants.
He's all the Giants.
Yeah,
Right.
giant tism as well. But this is essentially the beginning of the end for young Frank here, who just gets owned by this Tanaka's son. Like, yeah, size advantage and everything just gets dropped.
Is this does anybody know if this is the kid from Revenge of the Ninja? Tanaka's son.
That's a good question.
Might be short round.
This is such a funny moment though, because Tanaka's just talking about, I came here to fish and you come here to grow vines, and it's like, bro, the dialogue is so all over the place. But
Like, I think it was accurate that Tanaka had to explain what fighting is to French people.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, they're used to asking for assistance. So
Exactly. Yeah, throwing your hands up in the air is not the same.
See, this was a total win for them.
Yeah,
A couple would love it.
this is what winning looks like to the French people.
Wrestle on a
movie
beach
here.
bed. That's
What's
how
up,
it
Classic
goes.
Phoenix?
What's up, Flash Dog?
So it's like a dumb movie Copa would love. Copa was going to actually try and make this, but he's got a lot going on.
Too
so
gay. Too gay.
and by a lot going on, I mean like a lot of
Yeah, had we not done this in June, he would have been able to make it. But I mean, he's very busy this
I was
Yeah.
like, can you move it up into like May or like delay it till like July? And I was like,
July.
Yeah, he's packed right now. I mean, his
Yeah,
schedule's packed. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
in a
Yeah.
deep hole. He's in a
That's
deep
right.
hole.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
a lot of BH behind the scenes stuff right
Uh-huh,
now.
uh-huh.
But yeah, Steven Seagal who does half sitting down. I mean, he's got.
I mean, if you don't have to get up, well, then why would you? You know, it's,
right. He got a little chunky last time. Got my buddy back for his TSA stunt. I put puppy treats in his backpack. He got the cavity surge. Ayo!
No.
I guess the TSA made him go doggy style, huh? You
That'd
posted
be
something
rough.
on my ex. Okay, I'll check it out. Appreciate it, man. It'd be gay. Nah, dude, really. Yeah. Looking at nude Frank Dux actually increases testosterone.
That's true.
I mean, there is that moment in the movie here. Unfortunately, it had some like
where he's wearing like his bikini briefs and yeah.
yeah, and it's like put the towel in front of his junk so you can't see it, and then he goes to back to bed and tries to get all smoochy woochy, but that's not the masculine moment we're looking for.
Oh, that's Zach's O-face right there.
Oh no.
Why did you knock me down? Yeah, the kid, This is when
Oh, boy.
More of it. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Drunk am I?
That's Zach's second orgasm right there.
It's happening again.
Yeah, actual lore. Zach's is multi-orgasmic. I don't know if everybody knows that, but yeah, that was
It's true. That's a
so-
fact. Yeah. And like Frank Dux, I can internalize my orgasms too. I
Yes.
don't have to explode. I explode inward sometimes.
Yes. Yes.
God.
yeah, this is such a funny moment too, between their dialogue, and obviously just like to touch on the masculinity part. Like, yes, you know, Frank is trying to in like basically go into a ritual again. Like, it's all bullshit, but this ritual or this rite of passage that the Tanakas have been doing for, you know, hundreds of years now, and it's going to be, you know, intense, you know, for the physical aspects, the mental aspects, and even emotional aspects that, you know, Frank doesn't know, but Senzo Tanaka does. And, you know, he's trying to prepare him in the right way, but at this moment in time, you know, Frank just, he doesn't get it. He's not there. He just kind of thinks like, oh, I can do this, and, you know, I was trained by a kid, but then again, he's like, you know, you're not Japanese, you're not a Tanaka, and look at you, have so much to teach. But this is something that, you know, shapes Frank as this like as you know, he's not really reckless because it's just such bad acting in this movie, but as someone who maybe hangs out with other kids who maybe just aren't a good influence on him, but what it does is it turns him into a man that has discipline, that creates and encapsulates tradition.
Yeah.
So it's not something like the masculinity here isn't, you know, framed as something that he gets inherited, like, because he's not Japanese and there's no name. You know, it's not, you know, Frank Tanaka, it's Frank Dux. So this is something that that he has to earn here. Again, you know, through the pain that Tanaka puts him through, you know, and then he gains this reputation, and he has to earn it, right? So it's also kind of Frank being loyal to Tanaka because he's so passionate about this, and and something like that's appreciated. And there's obviously other like martial arts movies that kind of follow the same thing. Like, I mean, Karate Kid does it as well. You know, it's like this. It's also quite ironic that Pat Morita is in the other Bloodsport sequels, as he was for like the Karate Kid. So, but yeah, like Frank has to go through and earn the honor. He has to understand what patience is. He has to understand like the technique here, because he's just getting his butt whipped. He's getting thrown on the ground, you know, and just, you know, time after time. Sure, he gets back up because he has to. Like, it's something that if he really wants this, if he really wants to prove to Sensei Tanaka that, you know, he is the right person for this job, because, you know, Tanaka's son is dead, like, then he has to basically man up here and like not show much. It's not like show like the strength that like I'm strong, I can do this, but like it's this like codified passage that the masculinity is grounded in because of the Tanaka family history that they've like all come before him. So like now it's, you know, this is the one time like where this branch is off, but he has to prove it to Sensei Tanaka here. What do you guys think about that?
Well, Nick, I mean, I think it's definitely masculine, and also just shows Frank's character that this isn't his father. And he does say that the respect and loyalty, where like, you know, you and your wife treat me like I was a son. Your son was like a brother to me. And by all accounts, he could just walk away. He's not doing this for anything but loyalty. And the fact that he's loyal, it's for a stupid, silly movie, but he's getting his ass kicked here, and he owes this man nothing, but he's trying to earn his respect. And I like the fact that the whole surrogate father, and the fact that Frank already has his own parents, but he's trying to earn his keep him. It's such a simple trope that we miss nowadays, where remember the whole girl boss and being perfect at everything. Frank is constantly messing up and getting better. And such a small character development that we take for granted nowadays, where remember the days of you had to train to get better. You weren't perfect at everything the first try.
Yep.
I mean, if
Yeah.
Frank would have realized that he was actually perfect already on the inside, then this all could have been skipped, right? I mean, this is what modern movies have brought to us.
Well,
Right.
some of these kids, they crave discipline, like they really they're I don't know. It's like he sees this one father who's actually strict, teaches his kid, and then his dad, his biological father, is kind of fucking French. So, like that's the difference. And he craves that. He needs it. So
Yeah,
structure.
he wanted to be manly. He didn't want to be
Mhm.
French.
Right.
He had biological parents, but now he has a daddy too, right? That's kind of how this goes.
You know,
And he would hit him with a stick, and he would tease him and taunt him and whack his butt, like you said, until he stiffened up and became a real man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a
anyone else try to
mutually beneficial relationship, really. What we're seeing right here. It's,
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone else try to do splits after this and go, haha, nope.
no, I knew better.
I tried, but
Yeah, I knew beforehand that I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So
Nick,
I
what
just,
would be the purpose of getting hit in the stomach with a stick while you're doing the splits, do you think? Like, what would that be teaching you?
core strength.
Arousal.
Yeah. Don't get a boner when another man's touching you, I
Mhm.
guess.
Or two. I mean,
or-
we don't judge.
Or
It's,
get one.
this is
Yeah.
June.
Speaking of boners,
True. Oh, there she is. Chana.
This is ultimate Kegel training right here, but
I know.
Yeah. He's got 3 sticks in there already. So he's
Exactly.
Yeah. So whoever whoops Frank technically would be dropping a Dukes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
A Duke. Pretty
Nice.
much. Pretty much, yeah. And then this was one of the funniest parts in the training because he's literally like drawn and quartered here almost like,
Mhm.
but yet now I think
this
this
is a lot
scene
more.
is probably more arousing.
I mean, you can order these sex swings.
Yeah,
right,
You know,
yeah.
they're
They-
I
special.
forgot about this.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
yeah, they make
it's like a bondage
sets for
magazine.
this.
Well, I mean, that's what leads up to this, right? There's a lot of BDSM going on here in this training.
There really is. There's no
Yeah.
martial arts at all.
No, somebody had a kink when they were setting up these shots. It was like, Bob, I think we need to lessen this up just a little bit.
Yeah.
A really good review of this movie read by Squeaka. Really interesting.
Fucking gourd.
Desapren. Gord says, you can be manly or you can be French. You can't be both.
That's right.
Mhm.
He's a 50 Shades of Frank.
With men, they will always suck and be dome-witted and must capitulate to their female overlords. Pretty
Yeah.
much, it almost happens in this movie, but Frank actually is so manly that he's able to leave and get on the plane and just be like, you don't deserve me. I'm Frank Dux.
Exactly.
Is that kind of stream tonight?
Well,
I mean, I don't know if you looked at your calendar, but yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It teaches you how to take hits while doing splits.
Yeah, here we are. Might as well finish, right? Like, we've come this far.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. I mean, look at that face, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
that's ecstasy.
Yeah, that's you're edging.
Ultimate edging. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Do
And
not
now he has-
goon. Do
now
not
it's the post note clarity right there.
And now this is when he's just rising up. Like,
Oh, yeah. Yep.
The juxtaposition here of like just elevation
Mhm.
of things like that. That's exactly what this scene is trying to convey. Like, I mean, he breaks wood.
As you should.
Wood is
does.
involved. Yes.
Yeah, there's definitely wood. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the moment that he was internalizing it and learned how to cure his own cancer. So I
He
mean,
was
Yeah.
like, I'm done. I
Mhm.
win.
That's right.
I've finished.
Mythical.
And it's like, now let's deal with the real thing, a sharp sword.
Yeah.
Speaking of boners,
Now it's time for attempted penetration.
his stomach is the biggest target in the fight. It's testing his ability to take hits there for sure. Yeah, it's like getting kicked or hit in your obliques. To be able to get those kidney shots so it doesn't affect you that hard. I mean, that's obviously all rib as well too. But yeah, you need to have a strong core today.
It's also
in these
make-believe.
types of fights. What's that, Zach?
I said this is also make believe. So there's that.
No,
Yeah.
For sure.
Right? Like,
this is real.
don't try these techniques and don't do the splits and get hit in the stomach with a stick.
Houdini was
try.
really good at tightening up his stomach, and then
That's right.
Yeah.
didn't one
Then
day.
appendix. Oops.
Then he didn't one day. And,
Yeah.
So clearly he didn't have the kind of
Happens.
training that Frank went through.
Yeah.
He didn't do
If
the
he, if he
splits.
had like Kato from the Pink Panther constantly just surprising him and hitting him in the stomach with sticks,
Right.
then this wouldn't have happened to Houdini.
Why else do you think the robe is white? It blends in.
Oh.
Very true. That's his Van Damme face. Everything else is just Van Darn.
Yeah.
This is the moment Frank becomes the Bay Harbor butcher. Man, I'd be doing I'd want some cocaine after that too.
Don't we all?
Well, that's the thing. Like Frank Dux in real life is cocaine,
Well,
so
Yeah, they actually get cocaine from him.
yeah,
His dandruff.
yeah. Yeah, he uses powder. He uses cocaine as powder.
Yeah.
He
after
later
he
went on to
sweats.
be cyborg, but yeah.
Yeah. So like the realization of his training, his upbringing, right? Like it's obviously just this, like him being receptive to this higher order that the Tanaka clan has established because of the Kumite. But yeah, I mean, I think for the sake of Van Damme's version of Frank Dux here, he's learning to endure and not so much to like dominate. Obviously, like he wants to win, but more so he wants to prove to his sensei that like he's worthy of the name, he's worthy of the code, to represent his family. It's like representing a dojo, right? So you see the masculine values that are passed through this sort of example and ritual. It's not just like, okay, yeah, you can go represent me. I'm giving you my verbal confirmation here. Like this instruction to go fight for me. It's like not just like that's like we see it later. Like, oh, prove it to me. Do the punch. And he's like, okay, if you want me to do that, I can do that.
Yeah.
So like he definitely has to prove himself in this manner here before he enters the good old Kumite.
Yeah, I mean Tanaka is also, I've trained you, but if you're going to go and represent me, I can't have you dishonoring me, right?
Yep.
That if I sign off on somebody, then everybody needs to know, no, that dude's legit, right? That's also a little bit of what's going on here, right? When you endorse something, right, in the same way that like if I referred somebody to a job, they know that if I'm giving the reference, okay, that this is some legit shit, right? He's not just blowing smoke up my ass or whatever, right? If you call me for a reference about somebody, you're going to get exactly what I think about him.
Yeah.
I almost laugh and look at said the trivia from my Amazon says Frank Dux was the fight coordinator for this film. When Van Damme was cast, Dux announced that Van Damme wasn't nearly in good enough shape for the film.
Yeah, made him train 3 months.
That's awesome.
Was he trained in Dux Ryu? That's the ninjutsu system that Frank Dux created. It's at the final credits.
It says Van Damme, at the time a world championship martial artist in his own right, said it called this the hardest training of his life. What the hell was he doing?
I was doing splits every day and getting hit in the gut. It was so messed up.
Not good enough.
See, I'm surprised he didn't get like a strain in his groin, honestly. But
if I remember right, Van Damme originally he grew up as a dancer.
he did.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
That's why he was able to do splits, I believe.
Right.
Yeah. I got that small scene for you, Jake. Hang on.
But you have so much to teach. You are not Japanese. You are not a Tanaka.
There's like music over that whole scene. I'm like, there doesn't need to be music over this. Like, it almost takes away from.
The music is doing a lot of heavy lifting in this.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
I mean, you damn sure don't want to depend on the dialogue or the acting.
100%.
He's not wrong.
Double Impact was a fun movie in the late 80s, early 90s. This guy was everywhere.
Course, yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like all these well-known actors that were just in a ton of movies, right? I
It
mean,
was Van Damme was just so different than Arnold and Stallone. I'm not sure how or why. Just something about him.
yeah,
Well,
very
for
true,
one
Red
thing, he
Dad.
was in B movies.
Yeah,
It's the solar plexus. Revenue.
Yeah, that's 100% true. Like, if you get punched one time good in the lungs, and like that can throw the whole fight off for you right there. And then
Yeah,
you're just,
what you're doing is you're actually hitting the diaphragm, and you're
yeah,
causing the lungs to expel. And if you hit the diaphragm hard enough, it kind of seizes up for a bit, which is why you lose your wind.
yep,
Not normally when you're doing the splits. Like usually you're not getting hit in this whole part, so you're doing the splits. That's not
I mean, you are in
trainable
Whitey's
situation.
picture right there.
True.
That's yeah.
right.
He's checking that dude's diaphragm right there.
Yeah,
He's like,
Yeah.
make sure that's all the way up there. Okay, there you go.
Yep.
Yep,
There
doesn't want
it
to
is.
miss anything. Jean-Claude Van Dancer.
Hold me closer.
It fits.
Jean-Claude Van Dancer.
You know,
If Van Damme and Stallone hit you in the face, do you see stars?
jeez.
It has to be said though, with John Claude, JCVD, the black and white movie where he played himself,
Yeah.
was actually really good.
I heard
Yeah.
it's fantastic as X. Yeah.
The one where he's like a secretly secret agent.
Yeah.
Well, people expect him to be because of who he is, but he's not really.
Right. Yeah, he's just faking it
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bank robbery film, and he's excellent in it. I thought.
Yeah, well, it's also
Playing himself.
that's like his self-awareness arc, right?
Yes.
that he becomes
It is.
kind of a cartoon, and yeah.
Yeah.
Jake, just ask yourself, what would Gord say?
Then don't say that.
Also, as we always say with pacing in films, this film's only 9 minutes long. I'm looking right now. The whole montage training, it's only 5 minutes. So it's like, thank God it's not elongated to like a half-hour segment. It's 5 minutes. So moving
Right.
on.
It kind of felt longer. I won't lie. Like,
It's a long 5 minutes. Yeah,
It's not the
I'm just
shortest.
saying.
it's like
could
a
have been
pocket
shorter.
dimension where time just stops.
I think it's because of how many commercials, like TBS and TNT had back in the day between all this. Like, we couldn't
Yeah.
even make it through that without seeing, whatever other sitcom. was
Look,
going on.
if in the middle of it, because I watched this a few days ago, and I was praying for a commercial in the middle of the flashback. It was like just anything to get me out of this.
Yeah, so obviously this is like this scene of the setup where Frank Dux has arrived in Hong Kong. He's handing his registration into a secret martial arts tournament in the Kumite.
These guys are like Sherlock Holmes level detectives, where they realize Jean-Claude Van Damme does not look like a Tanaka.
Right. You don't sound Japanese. You
I
don't
wonder what
look
gave it away.
Japanese. Round Eye, as he's called as a kid
Yeah.
by Tanaka's son.
Sounds racist.
Based kids.
Based,
Yeah,
based
yeah.
kid. Kid would be thriving today.
Oh yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, just as funny as it all is, the Kumite is more than just like a fight, because it has like this sort of like almost like spiritual like crucible that they're all sort of fighting or taking place in. And it's like, because it's there's no limitations. Like you can kill someone and get away with it. As it says, like, someone died last year from Chong Li. And it's sort of like, the only people that are left standing are the ones that are masculine enough to get to the end. Which, it's like there can only be one in this tournament here. But this is ultimate test of, who can extend the depth through the brackets. And like the rounds is like, like Zach was saying earlier, but they would just kind of like, people would just speed through it. And that's, you kind of see that here where like Frank is just going through like next, like just, I mean, he gets the, we'll get to it in a
But he
moment.
sets a world record right off
He
the
sets a
bat.
world record. Yeah.
Here we go.
And
Oh,
this
here
is
it is.
sort of like the rite of passage here, right? So it's not just like him saying like, oh no, I represent the Tanaka clan. Like, it's like, no, like, we need to see like this ritual of acceptance here, because if you're not who you say you are, then you can't be here, and you've got to get the hell out of here. And so just like for context, it's like, no, don't hit the top one, hit the bottom one, because breaking the top, Rick, is easy. You
Yeah.
know, I
Anybody
mean,
can do that.
right. Well, even Ray Jackson, does it. You know, he's like, I broke the first one. He's like, see, not even a scratch on the second one, as a joke, which is like the opposite of what Frank Dux is doing here. But as he kind of gets called out, and in times of proving the masculinity parts, like if you get called out on something, like especially when you're saying you're someone or representing someone else that you're not, you've got to like nut up or shut up here. So this is something that
Damn
Frank
right.
Dux, Jean-Claude Van Damme is having to do here, and like there's the wind up and then the nut here. So it's like,
I'm gonna come.
and that's exactly what
yep.
happens here. And he gets congratulations, like that was awesome from his new bromance
Jackson.
with Ray Jackson here. So it's great. And
Oh yeah, look at his face
love
right
that
there.
guy.
He's like, yes, you sunk his battleship.
scored him.
B5. Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
5 minutes, plenty of time for a dude. I mean,
5 minutes. That's
Also,
merit.
I love the trolling judges where the was it Eddie, the guy that's like
Deborah
helping him out,
Irons.
and he's like, do the top one, and Frank Duke, he's just getting ready to hit it, and he's like, no, hold up, right? They're watching him the whole time. Hold up, no, the bottom one, right?
Yeah.
No, they're just, you see it in the shot, they're trolling him.
everyone did think you just have to be smart about like
As
OJ.
much as like
That's
a lot of
true.
this stuff is funny and it comes out strange, you have to like keep in mind too, like really how creative this was to have all these different steps to actually enter this tournament that never existed, and to create all these different martial arts styles that are used, and then picking who fights who. Like there is something to this story, and the way it's laid out that is compelling, even if sometimes it does come across as silly. Now I think.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
there's a certain admiration to the bullshit.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it does. I mean, to like Zax's point for the era it comes in, and I mean you knew as a kid you knew what the dim mak was, right? Even though it's
Right.
complete and utter horseshit.
Yes.
But the death touch where you hit someone just right, and I mean you can kill them in like a week, or whatever. This is also created by Count Dante, by the way. But but so that when they say you were trained by Tanaka, then you must know the dim mak, right? And all of us in the audience are like, yeah, I mean, of course
Yeah,
you do,
of
right?
course.
Let's see it, yeah, and he shows it. Right, there's like cinematic universe of bullshit that existed in the 80s that all like kind of reference each other and they depend on each other.
Yep. We will be doing Highlander at some point, Dax. I'll probably do it closer to when the new Highlander movie with Henry Cavill comes out,
no.
just so it, maybe for the algorithm essentially. But it's definitely on the list. For
You've
sure.
already said there can only be one twice here. So
Yeah.
No, it's true.
This is
Kinda
Midlander.
You're teasing it more than Tanaka,
know.
man.
I'm glad someone else caught that. So, Waylon, what's up, brother? Did Leon send you in the wrong direction towards ABF stream, or was it YouTube just making you late and not gay? Frank is on a hero's journey, and it resonates through the camp. Yeah,
Damn right.
100%. I bet Zach knows how to get to Hong Kong.
I hope that's a euphemism.
I don't know what that means, but sure. I don't know.
Take me to your walled city,
You
Zach.
fry up rain.
Yes.
Not to get gay, but
Well, I mean-
we're going to talk about the Brotherhood of Ray Jackson and Frank Dux here, and they have the loyalty that is forged through fighting,
Being Americans in Hong
being
Kong.
American. Yeah, exactly. And the fact that they meet playing a fighting video game is quite hilarious. But YouTube was the reason. Yeah, ridiculous.
You know, what kind of grown men still play video games?
Yeah, imagine that. What grown man would be playing video games?
I think they're playing karate or karateka, but I'm not sure.
That's what I thought it was.
So,
It's funny how Ray tries to pick up this Japanese lady here, and just gets hard denied.
Should be Chinese. It's Hong Kong.
Oh yeah, sorry, Chinese. I'm sorry, I said Japanese.
Yeah,
I think it's Tanaka.
Whatever.
I know they all look alike to you, Nick.
Yeah, the game is called Karate Champ.
Karate Champ.
Oh, Karate Champ. Yeah.
Gotcha.
All come out in the same era.
side qual.
Keisha ever seen a show? Jesus.
What was that, Zach?
I want an ogre side qual. I want him to get his own movie. I know it's too late now. He's probably dead. But
Jesus.
yeah, I would like to see his own adventure. He's my favorite character in this film for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jackson
Well,
rules. Nick Jackson.
Again, him and Chong Li.
Yes, Chong Li's pecs are probably the best character.
Well,
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the importance of how they're depicted and written together in this film here is the fact that like there's no like sentimentally parts involved. It's just like there's this mutual respect. They understand like the risk that's involved here, right? But I think because they have this friendship that is like genuine. They understand like the loyalty of like where they come from being American, even though Jean-Claude Van Damme is not. But Frank Dux is. Again, we have to remember it's the American hero.
Canadian,
Dux.
but American because he served in the American military.
Right. Yeah. North American. We'll just kind of lump them together. But
let's not do that.
But I think that their bond, definitely reflects.
I heard that good one.
Yeah, I mean so you immediately have like a level of respect because you're here with the Kumite as well, so this ain't no slouch, right? I mean, he's invited there, but you also know you may have to fight each other, which again, I mean, like you could be friends with other guys like in boxing or wrestling or whatever, knowing full well at some point we may have to go each other, and we ain't gonna be friends when that happens, right? We may be friends afterwards, but during fight, not so much.
Yeah, true.
Might have to clash.
Well, it's one thing, Nick, that we do see later on that Jackson he's seen the Kumite a couple times. Right now, Frank has never seen this. He's heard about it, but it's one thing seeing it versus hearing about it. Like Jackson's actually seen people die in the fucking ring.
Yep.
And Frank is just like he may know about it, but it's one thing when you're seeing it firsthand. Being there live, I think like right now Frank doesn't understand how serious the Kumite is. Right.
And I do think the fact that like they have this almost immediate loyalty to one another, even though again it's okay. What would have happened if they would have fought each other in the final, right? And it wasn't Dukes versus Chong Li at that point. Like, I totally agree with what Goodwin said. They'd have to fight because they have to put the friendship aside, and it happens like in other sports. I mean, like it happens in hockey, it happens a lot in boxing. UCF, you might train in the same camp together, like knowing that, hey, we might fight each other at some point, but we're in this sport for a reason, or fight for a reason. So we both know what's at stake here.
Jackson kind of goes older brother as well, right? Because he's familiar and he's bringing him along. Hey, Frankie, this one, I love this guy though. Okay.
Yeah.
The way he
the
talks.
big guy.
Yeah. Well, the guy with the huge head.
Yeah, him.
Well,
yeah.
Basically, to what the good one was saying, the first thing Jackson says to Frank is like, "Aren't you kind of young to be in this tournament?"
Yeah.
Yep. And he does say that when they're playing the Karate Champ game, and so I think just the presence that they have together, obviously like what they're willing to sacrifice, which could potentially be their lives, but definitely their health. And like there's no so there's a little bit of an emotional expression at the very end, but it's sort of like the like you said, Goodwin, the brotherly aspect of like unconditional love is like where Frank says, "I love you," is like same here or whatever.
Anywhere, anytime, right?
Yeah. So it's
damn right.
Yeah, it's like this unspoken friendship, like, and it's unbreakable, really, because of how much you see Frank care for Ray when he's, injured and he's in the hospital. So like, there's this balance between them because they're complete opposite of one another as well. Frank is loud and heavy set, not just the weight, but just sort of the way he carries himself. And then
he's also man-sized.
Right? Yeah, he's a big guy, and then Frank is again like the complete opposite. He's smaller. He's quiet. And he's not loud. And he obviously like has this resilience because of his training, where his background, his upbringing because of Tanaka. So it's a good balance. It definitely fits for the sake of the movie. And I think the moment where when Ray falls, when he's like knocked out, concussed, that's when like the mantle of like retribution gets passed, or rather that's when I should say Frank puts on like the mantle of retribution, because it's like, okay, now I have two things I need to do here. Not only do I need to win, but I need to teach Chong Li a bit of a lesson here because of what's happening. And I like this moment where Ray kind of pats Frank's back, and then Ray kind of does the same thing, like he kind of like allows Ray to go first, and it's just again like there's like this respect here, which again just it fits, and even in this moment, which happens later on. So I'm kind of just bunching these all together throughout the entire movie, but when the agents are trying to get Frank back on the plane to America, and Ray has a fantastic line in this clip right here that I do have, and we'll play that. But guy just takes one and just tackles both of them, which allows Frank to escape. And then, Forrest Whitaker basically like threatens him on the couch with a taser. But like, I'm like, hey, man, Ray don't care. This isn't going to stop or slow down Ray. Like, but
you think you're the first cop that Ray has actually gone after?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's probably a bit too drunk as well. Maybe at this point, I forgot how many.
I can't relate.
I forgot how many beers he actually had by this point, but
He always has one.
Yeah,
I know. What's up, Philip? Good to see you, man.
he's got that kind of built-in body.
Yeah.
Yeah, body by Budweiser.
Yeah, definitely.
He used to have a six-pack. Now he has a keg.
Was it Chinese Budweiser or what?
Yeah, it was whatever beer you got. He's drinking it.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Also, I did notice that I've never picked it up before, but he has the skull can in his back pocket. Go back to when he's after he's laid out. You can see it.
Oh yeah. I did notice that. Hang on.
I just dialogue here, Nick, when he first walks in and Frank's doing his splits and he's doing like his meditation. He's like, that hurts me just looking at it.
Yeah, he's like, you might want to stop. You might want to have kids someday.
You can see in his back left pocket there.
Yeah,
nice. Tobacco chewing.
Not to say, hey, to look at a man's ass here.
Listen,
it's June. It's fine.
Yeah, it fits the theme, right?
Get a free pass.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I've got a couple clips we can play, just for the sake of the bonding moment for these two gentlemen.
Aren't you a little old for video games?
You want to go at it again, huh?
Yeah.
Not bad, kid. Name's Ray Jackson.
I'm Frank Dux.
Best friends.
Best friends.
See, video games, they bond men.
Or like that. Yeah. Any woman that says video games are bad for you, leave them.
Do you have to hold up the fists? You see?
Never.
So are we going to analyze ogre butt?
Well,
the first words of analyst is anal. I mean,
It's true.
I mean,
if
why
you want
wouldn't
to
you?
pause it and go back, I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I like how Nick said "but" and just let it hang.
But
Comma.
I've got this wonderful line from Ray here, because it's just hilarious.
The hell are these two scumbags?
Just stay out of it, pal. It's not your business, okay?
I ain't your pal, dickface.
Wow.
Not much buddy friend.
That's true. That is almost as good as the line from Pledge, where it says, like, "Don't talk to me like that, ass face. I don't work for you yet."
Yeah.
Good question.
It was
No,
there a
no,
little bit. I mean,
it was there.
you can tell. You could
It
tell
was
it got worse over time, but it was.
Right.
What
right.
is the deal with his eye? Do you guys know?
Yeah, Frank Dukes
Frank
kicked him with the
Dukes.
dim mock.
Yeah.
That's why it took time for it to happen. You know,
Free sex.
You win this round.
Yeah, basically,
You are
yeah.
next.
We talk about that in the beginning, where Frank Dukes is the reason that Forrest Whitaker's
Forrest
eye got
Whitaker
lazy.
has that eye. Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
Oh, so Sylvester Stallone, like they use salad tongs to get him out of his mom's womb and all that. It just happened to Whitaker's eye. So
yeah.
Apparently, Whitaker has it's called PTOSIS, ptosis, a condition where the eyelid droops. Wow.
Yeah, but most people have that to some degree, but yeah, he's got a lot. But also, his eye decides to go wandering off on its own at times. So.
it's like the
Apparently,
permanent
too,
stank eye.
Yeah,
I guess they said the condition is actually hereditary. So,
But hi Molly. Wait, Molly, you changed your profile picture, your avatar? Why is it a sad orange? Or is that that's not a pumpkin, is it? No.
no, that's an orange.
It's a sad
I guess
orange.
in 2019 he did get surgery, so that's why his eye looks fixed now.
His eye does not look fixed.
Oh, that's right.
It looks
Bad
comparatively
video
to
games. I gotcha. They are good for male bonding though, Rabnad. He looked in the glory hole.
That'll do it.
That's Frank Duke's glory.
Daddy, chill.
Looking it up. Not to be confused with penosis. Hey.
Yeah, a lazy penis is not something you want to have.
Molly, why are you sad? This is not the place to be sad here for. We gotta pick that up. Make the arousal elevate. Speaking of arousal,
Ew.
this is an interesting clip.
That hurts me just looking at it.
Well, he's actually airing out his tank right there. See, there's an air conditioner usually underneath every window.
Yeah.
So
You got to keep the boys dry.
yes, sir. I mean, we are in Hong Kong. Sweat.
There is some serious humidity. Yeah,
yes.
Especially Frank's boys.
yeah. There's probably a bucket underneath that. Just to catch it. It's,
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
yep.
Love to see him miss where it's like with the bullshit coin and then the guy going like this. He's so fast he switched coins.
They changed coins on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but that makes sense because the fastest knockout was 12 or 0.12 seconds.
0.12. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
He learned this
So
by catching fish.
Yes.
It checks. Also,
He wrote on his hand underneath the coin, "Loser says what?" And
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's this part's really interesting, especially when he moves his arm back. It's so slow that just allows Van Damme just to like easily catch it. It's not really fluid at all. But we're not trying to discuss the choreography, but because it's not the greatest in this movie. But I think in the
It was
event
by
of-
Frank Dukes. He did the choreography. So you have to really. He was the one who did it.
slow
So
down.
we should discuss it.
I think the problem is that none of these people are Frank Dukes. So
the problem,
yeah,
100%.
you just have people that can't keep up with the speed and the expectations.
They try.
Right.
That's true. That is a good
I love
point.
this dialogue here.
Uh,
They're fighting for our lady's honor.
yeah, the dialogue here is pretty terrible, but it's funny just because of
There
he
it
takes
is.
her out on a date here because he gets this.
I missed the 80s when guys could just bet and just win women.
Yeah. I mean,
And she's like, "Hey, wait a minute." He's like, "This is big people are talking. Stop."
Do I have to say in the matter? No.
Look at that face. Look at that.
God, Frank.
Totally didn't change the coin. He pulled down his pants real quick. And
Yeah.
that's what you don't see at this point here. Lenny Kravitz has that condition too, which is why he wears sunglasses all the time.
The Flash. He had to learn from Frank Dukes.
Tangerine. Well, Molly, I am glad you're here. And then let's see if we can turn that frown upside down.
make it a tangerine dream.
Yep.
Solid.
Yeah, but he can't tell that his eye is still messed up.
Legend.
No one's telling him. That's the problem. Let's just call it a juicy peach. Well,
Oh,
it's not
Salty
sad.
blood.
It's stuff from RBF too.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Hopefully.
All right. It's okay. He's actually working on pile driving his muscles.
Mm-hmm.
A bucket, is that how they make nut milk? Yeah. So there was a special kind of snack that Frank Dux sold for a bit, or rather they allowed.
Oh
Yeah, they allowed. Well, not. I should say they allowed it, but they did it without him knowing. So he tried to sue for that.
Oh,
Nice.
but he actually sold a real snack.
Wait,
Duke's
Waylon,
juice.
listen, Waylon, we all have. Come on.
Duke's juice.
Duke's juice.
Yeah. Open up a can of Dukes.
And it used to cost a quarter.
Duke's juice.
Yeah, get it at your local GNC.
And she got some Duke's juice later on in the movie.
There it is.
You
My
can't
God.
see the bucket, but it's there.
Yeah. Well, they're changing it right now.
Yeah. It's like I'll hold it.
Could you go back one frame? Did somebody draw a face in the carpet there? Or is that from this Duke's juice? I mean, look.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
I
bucket.
see
They
it.
they spilled the bucket a little
Oh my
bit. They were trying to-
Now I can't.
see it. Hold on,
Now I
like
can
right
see
here.
it, White Bear. You piece of shit.
See it right here?
yeah.
The floor is even like, no.
Yeah, the floor is horrified because think about its view of this whole thing.
He's like, witness my taint.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
Edward
God,
Munch's
dude.
The Scream. It's what it's trying to do right now.
It's so-
Magnificent, Frank.
we had to change the carpet twice in your room.
Yeah.
He even made the fucking floor sweat.
Carpet filed a complaint.
That is a good catch.
Sorry, Blue, but I mean, the carpet got the worst part of that.
Yeah.
June is a perfect month for Forrest because he can't see straight.
Oh shit.
Nice.
Oh,
I'm like 87% sure that Ray was a roadie for Def Leppard before coming to Hong Kong.
Yeah, right.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing
That
Def
makes
Leppard. I'm seeing Def Leppard next month.
Oh, cool.
It's like 85.
Sorry to hear that.
We're going.
Yeah, that floor saw Duke walk around naked, and that's what happened basically.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He was doing that pose naked. The floor's like,
Th-
holy
those
shit.
those pants are CGI'd.
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
seen some shit.
Yeah, he's like, Ray might come over at some point because they know we're friends now, so I should.
Yeah, I got to
probably,
pose up for him.
Yeah, put some pants on.
Mhm.
And then like that obviously hurt him, but it's so funny how he actually tries to like get his attention, and obviously like Frank is so locked in at this moment here that nothing
What is he?
that he says can break that concentration, and
Damn. I can't.
Oh, the sign.
Frank's honestly thinking about something else in this moment.
Okay, this also goes to the continuity of bullshit that exists in the 80s. He's doing the hand gestures that the like the ninjas would do in the canon ninja movies, right? So this is if I remember right, it's Zen. It's like Retsu Zai Zen, and that's
Right.
I mean,
Later
Frank,
stolen by Naruto. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
oh yeah.
I mean, poor Naruto stole off Frank.
Yes.
Well, this is definitely from like Enter the Ninja. They do that where they're like both on like the badminton court or whatever, doing the prep before
Like-
they fight. Yeah.
Like how you're meditating so much, he's covered in sweat. Damn, it's epic.
Yeah.
You
Well,
should see his balls.
It's why the windows are open there.
Yeah, the floor has, you could tell.
Yeah.
But this is obviously like where, for the sake of the masculinity here, that the carpet's already seen a lot of that masculinity. But
Oh yeah.
he's trying to have the self-control, and not be combative at this point because he obviously knows what he's about to, start doing, which is fighting people, maybe killing them. Who knows if it actually comes down to that? But it's kind of spiritual. It's not so much tactical in this moment because of like his upbringing here. There's like this.
You got to
moral-
meditate, right? You got to get your mind in the right place because
Right.
you defeat the mind, you defeat everything else.
Yep.
Plus-
And so he's
plus
getting this
too-
moral fortitude, mental fortitude moment too. So we're gonna say Blue.
I was gonna say, well, plus between Frank and Jackson. I mean, once you walk in and see a man covered in sweat doing a split, you never change.
It's like,
I mean,
dude, you should have put the sock on the door handle.
like,
Come on. You know?
that is a bond between two men that will never break.
Yep. But yeah, I think one of the questions I had obviously was just like with what he has to do, and obviously there are people who do this that are for real, but it's sort of like, you know, what type of person, what type of man is more dangerous? The one who is loud and fights, or the one who is quiet and has like this like self-conquering moment at first?
Yeah, calm mind is what you worry about, right? Because they're not going to get all emotional and get run up, right? They're always calculating.
Yep.
I've had many discussions with Goodwin about that, prison stories. Trust me, when you're in jail, the guy in the corner that's not saying anything is the most dangerous motherfucker in the room.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about that, which is evident. You know.
You see this all the time in UFC with the guys who it's their first time fighting in the UFC, first time in the cage in front of a lot of people, and it's a challenge to see can they stay focused and not burn out with the first 30 seconds of the fight, and then they're gassed for the next 4.5 minutes, and they're going to lose because of that. Like, it's so much discipline and self-control in those situations, because it's in this could go forever, but in that it's a 5-minute round, and you have to fight all 5 minutes or else you're done.
Right.
So you have to pace yourself. You can't.
Well, I mean, like a good example of that was Tyson in his prime, right? He would come out and test your mentality right off the bat, right? I mean, you were going to take a flurry of punches coming from and too many guys would panic or get out of their training and fight styles and then just get knocked out.
Yep.
They
want to get out too. Those guys want to get out of there, I think.
Yeah. It's like, all right, I've had enough. I thought I knew I was going to deal with this. I don't want any of this.
No.
And I reckon a lot of times Ali would make people gas themselves out and then take advantage of that. They were Foreman.
Yeah, he'd long play it.
I was thinking, I know it's 80s, it's stupid, but like, if you look at Rocky IV, look at fucking Apollo versus Drago. Drago doesn't say a fucking word.
I
must break.
But like, it's like Apollo's just like showing the world how tough and badass and awesome he is, and Drago just looks at him. Yeah, it doesn't say nothing.
Yeah, just walks out, smack. Oh shit!
I don't know if you got ninja fatigue. Maybe.
Ninja, please.
Sock Tua.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a sock on the handle. The other one's getting handled.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
You don't put the wrong sock on that hand.
That is also very true, Jake. I must grape you. So what?
Yeah.
It is June.
It is. So this is the fight that happens before with I believe it's the first fight that Ray finds himself in, and he does something that does not please Chong Li, because once he kicks the shit out of this guy, he calls him out. And he's like, "Is this it?" He goes, "I'm gonna kill you." And awkward moment for Chong.
I love where he kind of looks around. Is like, is he talking to you? I know that motherfucker ain't talking to me.
Because you look at Ray right there. His entire fighting is just pure like taking a couple of hits, but he's just like he's got no technique, no style.
Mm-hmm.
He just right now he just overpowers the guy. And of course, look, see the size difference between Ray and this one guy. And look at Chong Li.
Yeah, Ray, like has a black belt in bar brawling. That's what his.
Like Goodwin said that. Yes,
it's almost like these guys watched Rocky IV before they made this movie.
Rocky has the best defense. You just break your hand on his head.
Yeah. How many times can you take a punch? Okay, you'll win.
Yeah.
I love the smirk though that Chong Li gives him, where he's like, all right, come on then.
He's like, "Oh, you are talking to me."
He kind of nods to him. Yeah,
okay.
All right. You want some of the smoke?
Well, it's creepy too. At first he smiles and he goes dead serious, like,
yeah,
like, oh shit, man.
I like it that Steve Buscemi's stunt double is right beside Chong Li. Like, like how long did he last in this?
Yeah, not long.
Yeah.
if Ray's obviously just like drunk. He's got the adrenaline going. There's so much testosterone and masculinity that's flowing through Ray right now. It's amazing.
Literally the best actor in the entire movie.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
he sadly is. Yes.
Goddamn right.
Yeah.
Well, him and like the older CIA agent, right?
And Forrest Whitaker's eye. You know, like
Forrest
those
Whitaker's
two.
eye is doing great. That's not me, Boosh.
I
That
gotta
was
go,
not
guys.
my phone.
They're right there.
You gotta go, Zach?
Yeah, I got to run into my Muslim phone. I
Ah,
can't talk to her,
buddy.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, gotta run.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, Zax. Take care, brother.
Love Zach's.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
for it, Zax,
but
if you
even a
got it.
small thing right there, like you saying, Nick, with their friendship bonding, where he's like, hey, Frankie, I won. He's like, yeah, good job. It's like, but what took you so long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we
I mean,
go.
that's
Holy Christ,
and
man.
then we see the chonky Chong Li.
There's something about disrespect, like fucking blowing your nose.
Yeah, I
like
love
this.
it. Where,
Dude,
yeah,
it's
guys doing like poses and all that stuff. Chong Li's just like, all right, clear my nose. Come on in.
It's like it's so gross, but also like disrespectful at the same time.
Yeah, it's dismissive, right?
You're right, man. Like
you're nothing.
I
Yeah,
feel like this is just like the fight that would happen between like Gooch and Leon,
you
or
see
maybe
me-
like Cannoli and Leon.
I don't know. Those kind of look like Zach's shoulders back there. Like Chong Li's got it going on, dude.
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
Well,
Also,
Zach's and Leon, but
Also, that small guy. This small guy is ripped like a fucking like a brick shithouse too. That little bastard's just—he's all
Yeah.
he's
The
sinning.
problem is that Chong Li, like one of his pecs, weighs as much as this guy. So
Yeah. This guy's
Like-
running off of 2 grains of rice a day, you know?
yeah.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah, that's some beef.
This
He's a
whole-
beefy
This
boy.
whole fight is like 30 seconds long. Not Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't remember. This is the one where he sets the the record, right? But
Yeah.
like, and the crowd loves him too. Like, so like he's got a lot in his corner, and
Everybody loves a
Easy to
winner.
bet for. Yeah.
yeah, and once the fight eventually happens, and you know, obviously if you're ever watching this for the first time, you know it's going to happen because he just calls him out. So it's like, all right, well, you don't even need foreshadowing. It's like it's inevitable, but like this. There's such a juxtaposition here between the types of masculinity that they have because, Chong Li has like this unrestrained ego because he's just being pumped into his veins and obviously his ears, but because the crowd, like no one's cheering for Ray,
Yeah.
Even though I think you could have at some point because he won a couple fights here, but, like the violence that happens it's not like used as defense. It's not really a test of endurance because Chong Li just humiliates Ray.
Well, I mean, Ray does this to himself because he
Definitely.
has Chong Li on the ground,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then he's going to go run
Right.
around, go look at me, or whatever, and Frank is like,
Right here,
no,
yeah.
what are you doing? Right, just get him while he's down. Ray's own hubris and like braggadocio is
Definitely.
what gets him rocked out.
What you're saying, Nick, with Chong Li, even in his first fight, like at first hits the guy one time, he's got him a headlock. Before he even finishes him, he's wanting the crowd to cheer
Waving
him
to the
on.
camera, yeah, hey, what's
Exactly.
up?
Then he hits him one time, then he's just doing that whole like fucking pose like this, but like
Yeah.
he's playing to the crowd, like so he does enjoy torturing these people, but also the crowd's cheering him on. It's like, damn, man.
Yeah, Gooch would make Leon his concubine if they fought.
It would be a beautiful fight.
Yeah. Well, first he would throw him in a bath or something to clean him up.
That's
So,
true. Or a pool, or the ocean, or a
Yeah.
lake. Just any
Yeah.
sort of body of water.
A body of water.
I mean, a puddle that rains here in Florida would probably.
Yeah.
also
The ball
work, but
sweat from Frank Dux doing the
Yeah.
splits in
That's
the,
true.
the hotel.
Wow. Leon might enjoy that though. Especially
true,
during
yeah.
the month of June, but. You could argue Frank and Ray are two expressions of masculine energy. They both display different aspects of powerful men who have been honed into specimens of strength. Yeah.
Yeah, they're different. Less specimen, more like approaches to aggression and violence.
Yes.
Right. Frank is the trained
Yes.
artist, and Ray is much more like primal, just rage and here we go, and I'll just play it by ear or by balls.
And
Right?
I'm sure Gilman's known this. Like Ray's
He
one
is
of the guys.
lovable.
Ray's one of the guys where he always powers through fights, but the problem is when you power through every single fight, eventually you find a guy that's more powerful than you.
Yeah, or smarter.
Yep.
Right, that will use your
Oh, yeah.
aggression against you, or things like that. Right,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
just from the last thing I watched where that is the case, like in Reacher season 3, where Reacher's a big guy, obviously like
Oh,
depicted
yeah.
that way in the book, but the fact that even just someone in real life, whereas like Alan Richardson he's a pretty big beefy dude, and then you've got
there's always a bigger guy.
the Dutch giant
Exactly.
who's a freak of nature, just dwarfs him even at that size. So it's like, yeah, how do I defeat this guy? Because I have to be strategic, because I can't outbrawn him. That's not
Definitely.
going to
Yep.
work here.
Yeah, it's the rational application of violence that's most dangerous.
Yep. Ray's lack of restraint is his undoing. Frank knows how to control his emotions. Yep, exactly. Frank is a scalpel. Ray is a sledgehammer. Yep.
That's true.
Dre dropped his lighter.
No, it's actually my dildo.
But yeah, no, Ray could have won here. He could have ended it. Like,
Yep.
while he's bleeding,
Maybe, yeah.
like, if it bleeds, we can kill it. Like,
Yeah.
that should have been the mentality. Like, not let me showboat because I just knocked him down because you didn't win. And,
Yeah.
And Ray, and Frank's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you
Yeah,
doing? Like,
celebration is for when you have something to celebrate. The actual you finish this guy off and we're done. I also
Definitely.
like Chong Li. He touches the blood, he tastes it, he looks at it, and he immediately thinks, "Nobody makes me bleed my own blood."
yeah.
Yep.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. But yeah, this is like, this demonstrates the risk of entering like an arena like this and just being unprepared. Like, just like he didn't check his ego, right? But we already knew that was going to be the case with him. And
Hubris was going to get him.
Yep. And he just doesn't know how to restrain himself, and that's sort of like where again, this masculine ego takes over and puts him in a bad position, because right as he's knocked down here, this is where the killing blow comes in. Obviously, it doesn't kill him, but this is where Frank knows like he's done for, and he tries to stop him because he can already see it happening. And Chong Li, I mean, that heavy foot is coming down like a sledgehammer, ironically, Boosh, and it just leaves him there. I remember when I first saw this, I was like, oh, he's dead for sure. But they didn't.
Yeah,
kill him.
definitely.
It's like I thought he kicked his neck, or like
Broke his skull,
broke his skull, yeah, or like caused like a hemorrhage, right? So he was just gonna die in the hospital. He wasn't gonna make it, even if they got him out of here. But just the ego taunting too that comes back on that face is like pure villain, right?
Chong Li has some great facial acting.
He does.
Yes, I agree.
He does. And this obviously is double taunting here. So like the masculine is just going like it's skyrocketing, because he's like, I'm gonna take your Harley Davidson headband, I'm gonna just whirl it around,
Wipe my ass with it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
dry my nuts with it.
Exactly. Yep. Let you snip it and then snatch it away from you. No, you can't have it.
Do you like what is it like? You take the towel and you kind of just go between your legs and just kind of go back and forth, like, you're like, let me dry the gooch.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta dry the gooch off, and right in front of Frank's face, no less. Like,
Yeah, he hangs it there like, come snatch it,
Yeah.
and then snatches it himself, right?
Oh, you want this?
Yeah. You mad, bro?
Look at
You
that.
mad?
Yeah, you mad, bro?
Yeah, Frank's on a mission now.
Yeah, this is where the vengeance is being built within
Yeah.
someone who's built his life on tranquility and restraint, and just like this spiritual discipline. And Frank's like, nah, I'm gonna tear this dude a new asshole.
I'm I do like that
No
fact
homo.
because Frank came there as just a sense for honor for a sensei. Now it's personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Hosty? How's it going, man? We're just talking about
Manly men.
Frank Dutz's ball sweat and fighting here in Bloodsport.
So we do get to see this montage, and of course, just the nice '80s music.
Yeah, then the montage kicks in, because then we start seeing more fights come in, with Frank versus other fighters, and we've seen that, and it's like a staple for '80s movies.
Yeah.
I mean, training with Rocky, the All Valley tournament, right, with Karate Kid.
Yep.
You're the best around.
What's what sucks, Nick, is like Frank. They only show Frank take out 2 or 3 opponents versus the 60 he actually did take down, but the film can handle that much. So it's,
right. There's not enough film for that.
Yeah. I mean, it really only took about an hour to do all 60 of those opponents, but that's
Yeah, I feel like this movie probably would have had to have been turned into like an HBO miniseries.
Oh my god!
Because of all the fights, and it would just like every episode would have like probably 5 fights, and it's like, okay, like who's on the list of fights that Frank fights now? Like, but I mean, because it's such a secret tournament, half those names would probably be redacted or like labeled as like something
missing
else
in action.
new.
All right, but I mean, he took on more men than Bonnie Blue. He's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Taunting at its best. Exactly.
Bloodsport does have death. I mean, Frank may have killed a couple guys.
Negro, what's up, man?
Yeah.
You're late, but you're not gay.
That's true.
That's the important.
Because you're here.
Because you're here.
It is within his conscious, though. Frank, he just
and look who changed her avatar. There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
That's for an arts precious.
Great.
Platoon is playing the Lord of the Ring of Gollum right now.
I've heard that.
He is part of his hazing ritual for EPAP, and he is losing his mind.
I've hit that point where it's like I want to play good games, Jay. I just get Terminator Resistance in the mail from GameFly. I'm like I can't play terrible games anymore.
Sam, I would rather disembowel themselves than lose honor.
I mean, it's not by choice that he's playing that. Mahler actually dropped into chat to taunt him because he's the one's making him do it.
Did he really?
Maybe,
yeah.
Maybe if I drink have a bottle of vodka, maybe. But
Molly is now coddled. Yes. So there's an interesting fight that takes place that I wanted to talk about that Frank has to endure. It's with this.
Oh, this
guy. Oh boy.
This is another great physical actor here. I mean, he is telling you everything without saying a word, right?
Like, show, don't tell.
Yeah.
Just move it along.
Yeah.
Again, the masculinity ego is just unchecked. It's about to be challenged though, real quick.
Yeah. He might have wanted to check his roll, but he did not, and he got rolled.
He's like, I'm gonna give the old I'm gonna cut your neck. You're dead, man. Let me get the get the old peck flex, and then
that.
Damn. And then this happens.
And then sit your ass down.
And then jump kicks him. I had to get another one. It was blurry, but there we go.
Oh.
You win. Perfect.
Fatality.
Ring out.
Yeah, fatality. That was a real quick finish him. Dude hit him once. He already has a super gauge charged up and everything. Because that's Frank Dux. Like his super's always at max.
Yeah.
Except when Chong Li is there, so it's like kind of like maybe halfway.
Yeah. He just refuses to do the button combination,
Right. Yeah. It kind of turns off the game genie.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we get to the fight.
That's a thick son of a bitch.
Yeah. This guy is also pretty.
This is Mongolian Jackson.
Yeah. This dude was taking shots to the ribs and the stomach.
He just walks through people every time, right? Like all of his fights are and you throw whatever you want. The smaller guy that just keeps bouncing off of him is hilarious.
Nick, I do like the one scene where Jackson takes a friggin' brick and breaks over his head, and he gives him to get here for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. And this is why he practices those split squats all the time,
Yeah,
because
you're
in
right.
the event that he gets caught, he's like, I'm not going to fall prey to what is going to happen here. But hey, this is why you train, right? Train to get better. Train to do split squats.
Now he does hurt a bit from that as he gets up
yeah.
and kind of
It's like that didn't feel quite right, but
too much air on the gooch.
right, yeah.
There you go.
And
Look
he's
at that.
about to get bear hugged here, which
Like this is just two competitors respecting each other, hugging it out. It's fine.
Yeah.
tips touching.
Yeah. Well,
It's my C7. I need you to pop that for me.
exactly. Yeah.
But he actually
Yes.
has the one to
Yes.
punch here. Right?
Dimbach.
I mean, he's tall. Like his face is right at his tits.
Yeah.
Also, John Van Damme is not tall, so
It's just
Wait,
bigger than-
there's only one Frank Dukes.
I'm sure his chest is bigger than a lot of people, Molly. So
Chong Li's chest is.
yeah, no worries there.
Things bigger than my liver.
White powder.
Yeah, I don't think Van Damme got paid much for this because this is really his intro movie. Now Frank Dukes may have used quite a bit of that. So
Yeah.
Hold on, what was it? Big man's nips are huge.
Well, I mean, the budget for the entire film was only
Trust your
$2 million.
yeah,
So I mean, it's how much. There's
Yeah,
no
it's
actual.
Dang.
It doesn't say how much. I can't find how much he got paid, but still.
yeah. And if I remember right, this is one of the last movies that was actually shot in the old city of Hong Kong, the walled city area.
Yeah, you're right.
According to one report, it says he got paid $50,000 for this film.
Yeah,
So,
it was pretty low. Yeah,
but again, too, I mean,
it is.
mean,
It is a Canon film, the mark of quality.
But also, I mean, consider it's 1988. That's still a lot. 50 grand's a lot of money back then.
Was he holding his gut back there, or was he just thumbing the nips? He's like, oh,
Look, that's how he recharges. I mean, you got to get a little excited for this. It's.
I need some
He's
Dux
channeling
juice.
energy.
Yeah,
He's channeling energy, basically like, let me touch my nips, and
Yeah,
then like,
You got to rub them in circles a little bit to power up fully, and then okay, you're ready now.
This is how I
kinetic-
make my Dux juice.
the
Yes.
kinetic energy that came from the punch is like, let me somehow like reverberate that back to give me energy.
Yeah. I'm going to put all of that into my nipples and then blind you.
Yeah.
Nick, for whatever it counts, man, the budget was $2 million. This movie did $50 million worldwide, and that's
a good return, bro.
That's
That's
also
a huge return.
That's also not considering VHS sales. So considering that is a pretty big win. $50 million of a $2 million budget.
Well, that was Canon's model, right? Golan Globus, the two of them, they started out like just making these the low budget maximum return kind of movies. Where they went wrong was when I think it was Menahem Golan decided he was going to be an auteur and spent some stupid money on some bad movies, and they killed the studio.
Frank, don't look at his deadlights. Don't look into
Don't
his
look at
headlights.
it. My face is up here.
Hosty, Steven Seagal was too busy sitting down for his fights.
He
when
was
Frank
trying to
standing up.
run here, but his awkward run really slows him down.
Couldn't
That's
decide
awesome.
on what accent to do.
All this nip talk is weird. It's okay. Philip, we're getting to a much better talk here. So as what are we calling this guy? Mongolian Jackson.
Mongolian Jackson. Yeah.
So Mongolian Jackson is now regenerated the energy after the punch from his nips.
He's like Henry Cavill in Mission Impossible, where he has to cock his biceps, right?
Right.
He basically just flexes to pull the energy in from outside to pump it back into his chest.
Or it was just like Bennett and Commando.
Yeah. But just like how ironic is it that both White Bear has this same
Look at
freeze
this.
frame?
Look at that.
My
Like,
God.
Oh wow.
God.
This is-
Synchronicity, baby.
Ooh,
That is pure masculine.
we've synced.
And then I think Frank was like wondering if it was actually going to take effect here. It's like I just touched his balls. I just
Yeah,
punched his whole junk.
yeah.
Frank killed his lineage here. Mongolian Jackson never went on to have kids.
Well, he did. He had a kid. That kid lived until the age of 10 and then died from the dim mak.
Yeah.
He granted him 10 years of life.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he pulled a pastor and was like, I release you.
I mean, Frank was pre Final Destination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first to flinch.
That was Frank laying out of hands. Mongolian Jackson now has the Holy Ghost and falls back.
Yep. I mean, dude, yeah. Van Damme was cut.
Yeah.
He was pretty damn lean. I forget how old he was in '88, but
He was going to age very quickly after this.
yeah, the powder did not help.
No.
Mongolian
Yeah,
Jackson.
he was
his line.
dude, he was
Yes.
35 years old in this film.
That looks good for 35, man.
I mean, he does look damn sure look younger though.
Yeah,
Wow. I don't know.
I mean, 35. I thought he was in his 20s.
I think originally I thought he was somewhere in his like maybe late 20s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
At this point, but yeah, and essentially what happens is that leads Frank beats the record, right? The fastest record, which is known and stated.
Yep. And Chong Li is disappointed in this.
Yeah, and he says, "You break my record. Now I
Break your
break
neck.
you.
I break you.
I break your neck.
I break. That's right. I break your neck."
They dubbed my voice.
They dubbed my voice.
Well, I mean, Chong Li's voice was so manly, you know.
Yeah.
It couldn't be translated onto camera.
Yeah, I don't even know why they had him say any lines. I mean, he could have just
Yeah.
facially delivered that, and you'd been like, I know exactly what that man is saying.
It was the best English in the whole film.
It was, yes.
Yeah, we can pay a little bit of a tribute to Ray here first.
See? Not a scratch on it.
Locked him.
Neither is this. For you.
That's what Frank's fighting for. He's,
Yeah.
he's
Right.
fighting for it, and this is what he's had to go
So
through
beautiful.
so
Yeah.
far.
He definitely went right through those.
Yeah.
It was so
Ooh.
that punch was so fast. They had to freeze frame. They had to like slow mo that like times 1,000 apparently.
Yeah, they were using high speed cameras for all of that.
Right.
Definitely.
And because the punch was so fast, his testicles, aside from that one swimmer
Yeah.
that escaped, that was like locked.
That
and
was
loaded.
damaged. That was the whole point, right? You know,
Right.
You hit that, you stun that one, and there's just a little genetic damage that shows up 10 years later.
Everything else just dissipated. Like
Yeah,
that.
it was all gone.
Mhm.
He saved him the one just to torment him.
I leave you with one just so you remember me later on in life.
Yes, all your joy will turn to ash in your mouth.
Yeah, the real Frank Dux, man, he had that mental warfare, like
Goddamn right.
locked and ready to go. Like, man, so the lead up to
It's like the hit from Kill Bill.
Yeah.
But instead of like, take five paces, it's like only so many sperm left and then you're done, bro.
That's right. That's right. That's the dim mak. I mean, the dim mak, you can just like tap somebody on the shoulder. 2 weeks later, they'll die of a heart attack.
Then they turn it into a Hanson song.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-ba.
That is the worst. That is, I mean, it's only the highest level dim mak practitioners can turn you into a Hanson song.
they're long gone. So again, he
Oh,
has
God.
to go through a couple guys, right? Like as he works his way towards Chong.
Don't coin
And,
here, no.
So not only did he take the coin and get the girl
Look at this guy's pecs.
from this guy, he just got embarrassed to the point where the
Yeah,
ref told him
Turkish
to
man is like, I'll just lay down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, so I'm going to lay down and maybe try to cheap shot
I'm
him
fine.
here. But
He's not going to get hit in the face. He doesn't want to kill the two caterpillars on those eyes right there.
I mean,
Like, these are natural.
yeah.
well, he had to exterminate it. So boom, just go to
Oh.
sleep. And what did you say? His pecs? I mean, yeah, I can't really tell it there.
Yeah, like when he's
Sure.
first standing there, he's a pretty
Yeah.
stacked dude. Yeah.
Yeah, he
sure.
is. He is. I mean, like
Yeah.
most of the guys that are in this fight, aside from like Ray, are pretty worthy of.
Well,
being,
and like the first guy that Ray fights, who looks like California bum that just came in, and is like, "Hi, I thought this was like the preppy convention, and oh shit."
yeah,
I mean, the poor son, you know, it's just
he has to go through a couple guys.
Oh my.
That is no Turkish delight.
No.
I mean, Frank is covered in sweat, but, you know, he's making the son jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they finally found a platform that would, you know, be able to hold up his balls. So
Definitely.
No, what better than to have all of Hong Kong visualize?
exactly, yes. Behold my glory.
I was looking up at Frank, like, holy shit, it's like an eclipse.
Yeah.
At
He's
5
blocking
o'clock,
the sunset, basically.
It's
is
two
what's happening
massive
here.
balls.
Oh, yeah.
5 o'clock every day, we turn to the west and pray to Jean-Claude Van Damme's taint.
Frank.
Oh man, I mean, just to talk about the part itself, like, yeah, it's hilarious because of where he's doing it, but it's sort of like the same thing where he's just trying to transcend again, get tranquil, you know, practice his katas, you know, and yeah, like get in the mindset, because he's like, I gotta beat this tall some bitch, but before I get to the ring, these two guys are blocking me. And
As are several Hong Kong police officers.
right, the police officers are
This man is already surrendering
Yeah.
before anything gets started. I didn't realize the Hong Kong police employed the French, but they do.
yeah.
He said, high five, no.
Yeah, no.
I am fan.
Frank
Okay,
just put
get
his
in the
hand
closet.
up. Frank put his hand up, and the guy was like,
Can you sign my nips?
Mommy, close your eyes, Little Kim.
Yeah.
Is this slate rated for Duke's balls?
what? It's like these two cops, they keep threatening to tase Frank, but let's be honest. I mean, tasers aren't going to work on him.
Yeah, they don't understand that. Like, Frank Dukes has so much masculinity that he cannot be tased.
Yeah, in fact, it will reverse backflow, and their hands will probably get burnt.
The worst part is that they were using part of a dirt devil. You know, like these. It's like, what did you guys think was going to happen?
What kind of tasers are these? And I was like, this is ridiculous. But
I mean, if you've seen the early tasers, that's what they are. I mean, they shot 2 wires out and shot into them and all that. And yeah, they're big chunky things.
Yeah.
Basically made in a guy's like living room.
I like the fact that they tase Frank and it bounces off him and hits the cops.
yeah,
Right
yeah.
in their nips. I mean, wrong nips.
Here we go.
Inspector, no.
That was Frank's chest.
Yeah, there you go.
Why is there a black cop in Thailand?
He's CIA.
So yeah, special agent.
Special agent.
What? Special Asian.
Yeah. Yeah, Hong Kong was still British possession.
Yeah.
I think they turned that over in 2000.
Pretty much. So yeah, he has to go through one last guy before he has to fight one more guy. I shouldn't put it. How me rephrase
There
it.
you go. Nick.
Oh my.
It's really a fight.
He tries. Yeah, no. You tries to tase Dukes, and he's just supercharged now. Jake, you get it. Yep, exactly. He's you just hit the NOS button basically, right?
Yeah.
Look at that stance.
But it's this part here kind of was like, how could you fall for this? You know, like I thought more of Frank to not get tricked this way.
Yeah, I like the fact that the kickboxer was going to teabag him there in that
Yeah.
previous shot, and
He was just trying to show him the Gangnam Style dance before it became a
oh, is that
thing.
Gangnam? Yeah, that's
Well,
all.
the Gangnam Style teabag.
Mm-hmm.
And he's phased, but they play footsies.
Yep.
I got a shot perfect for Kata later on. We'll get to that, but
Well, all those shots of Frank's cord did pay off though, because he's just hitting them repeatedly, just doing no damage.
yeah. So they basically like play kickbox wootsy here, and they just like are laughing like ha 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 ha. Oh, you kicked me, now it's my turn, ha 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 ha. And no one's getting phased really, right? Like they're just they're just taking him until Frank.
So Frank starts like doubling up. You know, he's getting like
Yeah.
2-3 kicks for every one this guy's getting, and
Yeah.
And,
Well, as you do. I mean, this guy kicks Frank 3 times. He kicks him once.
yeah. Also, why is there like a Turkish Thai kickboxer? This is okay.
I know.
Yeah.
And then
Goddamn, Frank.
Frank's just preparing, and this is the moment where
Now we get Chong Li, full Chong Li.
Yeah, full Chong action here, because he's going to cheat, as he's going to crush this pill in order to blow smoke.
Oh, this is what he fights Frank, because prior to this is the Frank has the fight with the Muay Thai guy, and then Chong Li kills the guy.
Yep, yeah. Right, that's right. So yeah, Frank is on the sidelines watching, and the whole crowd like kind of stands up. The judges do this thing where they turn their back on him, which Chong Li's like, whatever, like he doesn't care about it, which is just that's the sort of chaos that surrounds Chong Li, and
well, and that's what really makes him the villain, right? I mean, from a masculine standpoint, because this is if somebody gets killed in combat, okay, right, shit happens kind of thing, but Chong Li intentionally kills a defenseless guy.
Yeah.
And that's the when the judges stand up and turn their back, right, because he's dishonored, and the crowd follows kind of the judges thing, where they just look at the judges, they won't look at Chong Li trying to get the attention and all that, right? And
yeah, because like I'm watching the fight right now. If Chong Li knocks him out one hit, you guys already done. And he still picks up his fucking head and still breaks his neck. It's like, dude, he's already gone.
Like hits him with the palm, right? So it's like, and your nose up, up your brain, and then I'm gonna go ahead and snap your neck anyway. Have some of that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and this is the ultimate confrontation between these two masculine characters, where one is grounded in discipline, and the other is this like corrupted in this domination, fighting style, where he doesn't care if he kills someone because he just did it in the previous fight because he's the reigning champ, so he's going to do whatever it takes in order to continuing to win here. But
he's about the attention and the fame, right?
He wants the cheers.
He has to stay on top.
What's that?
Oh, he at that point he kind of feels like there's a chance he might lose, and he has to stay on top, and so his pride is really getting in the way, to the point where he's putting a pill. I mean, he probably should have just put a Lego in his shorts there and all that, and threw it on.
Yeah. Just throw a Lego on the.
That would have took Jean-Claude Van Damme out right now.
Oh yeah. Right. Anybody who's stepped on Lego, they know.
Looks like with his facial expression, he looks at Frank, he points, the eyes, he's like, "You are next."
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, that's when he's like,
I would
you break my record, now I break your neck. Melvin found that gold tooth, right? He was like, what the hell am I doing here? I just found a gold tooth.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm going to sell this bitch.
Of course, he did it first, even though it came out of another man's mouth first. That's,
that, had spit, blood, God knows what else out. But, it's okay. It's a secret ring.
All about them dollar bills, yo.
Yeah.
Bring.
But the fight itself is interesting because of what happens during it, where he's blinded. So Frank has
Chong Li's attack, where he gets crazy face and like runs right at Frank.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I've been like, I would have ran the hell out of the ring. The hell with that. I don't want anything to do with that.
That is true. But I like how he uses his environment as, he uses the ref here to jump off the side of his traps, his neck, and kick.
Nice shot.
Chong Li right in the chest. But again, Chong Li takes those kicks. He takes the hits. He's unfazed. I mean, he's taking blows, but it's not doing much. And sure, I feel like most of the fight kind of is even up until Chong Li has to resort to this cheating, right?
Also,
Right.
something Nick, small. I forgot about Chong Li on his right knee. He's got friggin' Jackson's Harley
Yes.
Davidson on his
Yes,
right
he
knee.
does.
Pure disrespect, man.
Yep. And I love how when they're like facing each other, he lifts his knee up, right, just on one leg, and like doesn't shift weight or anything. He's just like, yeah, that's how strong I am, and just points at it, right? It's like, oh, you want some of this? There we go.
Jesus Christ.
The downfall was the LSD that was in that headband this entire
That could have
time.
been, yeah. He was slowly microdosing it. He didn't realize it.
Dude, took my stash, man.
Yeah. And you can see the power difference here, right? I mean, the fact that Chong Li is able to just toss him, not just to the ground, but like throws him, several feet. But Frank is still able to find this poise and trust his training here, and to just try to tap back into his moral code that he has, and that he's been training for up to this moment. And he again starts beating the shit out of him. He's getting angry. He's being vocal, which is a little unlike Frank in the previous fights up until this moment, because there's a lot more riding on it, right? Like this guy almost killed his friend, his only friend here, Ray Jackson, and he knows, like he's like I just got called out. This guy is going to try and kill me next. So this is a do or die situation here,
Right.
And but
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
God.
When you see crazy eyes coming at you, you're like,
oh my God.
Yeah, you get that crazy face and those pecs running right at you, and you're just like, nope.
The last thing you see is this.
Yeah.
I don't know if a nut shot's going to take down Chong Li. That's the
No,
problem here.
no. I mean, you're gonna break your knuckles on the brass. That's the problem. It's,
Right.
Every time I think I'm a man, I see pictures like that, and I'm like, I'm not.
nope.
But the acrobatics of Frank, and then this like completely vertical,
Dear God.
like back kick or whatever you would really call this.
One singular sensation.
Just
Yeah, Frank's time in the Rockettes really paid off here.
It's like a high
his
kick,
toe.
axe kick, and all in backwards.
Yes.
Yeah. The time. What's up, Rossi? The time before UFC, and no one knew how to combine martial arts to make the best forms. Yep.
If Leslie Nielsen had been in a different shape, he could have done a very funny scene, right?
Yes.
True,
Yes.
he was. 2 a.m.
Yeah, they just use a mannequin leg and come up and hit him.
Flies backwards, spins a few
Yes,
times.
there we go. The toes definitely caught him in the eye there. Maybe. I don't know the accuracy, but I digress.
This whole next sequence, Nick, it's like, yeah, he's Frank Smart. He's going for pure body shots and like knee shots, because he's not hitting him in his chest because he knows better.
Well, it's what he told Jackson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. He said he's weakened the body and watch out for the right leg.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're right.
That's exactly what he said. I mean, yeah, look at that. That's a nice core shot, right in the mid.
Go for that solar
midsection.
plexus,
And
baby.
he's then the fucking kick to the face. Like,
Yeah. Nothing stops a toe
going
in the
for
eye.
yeah.
Oh, I was like, I remember the first time I watched this, I was like, he's gonna go for another nut shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aw.
Nope. He hits
Look at that
good kick to the face.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a good shot of Jean-Claude Van Damme here. Like, he's got a really nice, aesthetic.
The physique is going. Yeah.
Yeah, his physique's good here.
And of course, according to Frank Dux, he still wasn't in Frank Dux shape, but he's in junk.
No,
living.
I mean,
Right, yeah. I mean,
no
he would have
one
trained
can
for-
be.
He could have used 7 more months, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right. So he trained 3 months for this. So yeah,
Yeah.
probably the rest of the year, something along those lines. But
He could have got like as a pale, shadowy reflection of Frank Dux, but really nobody can attain
You
Frank
work with
Dux
the
level
clay that you're
like Frank
given.
Dux. Yeah.
right, you can aspire to be like Frank Dukes,
Yeah.
but you
Perfection
will
is the
always
goal, but you know you're always going to fall short.
fall
Mhm.
exactly. So I mean, look, Jean-Claude Van Damme did his best.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the real reason why
mean-
Frank Dukes didn't want to be involved with this movie, because he's like, "Pfft, you didn't put the effort into it, Jean-Claude.
Yeah.
Sorry."
No, you
Yeah.
got to shoot for the stars so you at least hit the moon.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I think Jean Claude's like 1% body fat, but of course Frank Dukes is like negative body fat.
No, he actually causes body fat from other people to disappear.
Oh,
He takes the body fat from others.
Yeah.
Jay.
One can only aspire to duxlessness. Yes, exactly.
Dukes. Yeah.
Or duxlessness, yeah. I said duxlessness.
The
Was
ducks,
50K
I
the
say.
roid budget?
They couldn't afford it.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like he would have had to have taken all the roids at that point. So
Yeah.
the 50K was definitely for the white powder.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, that as a dancer, he would have been lean and,
Oh, for
and
sure.
strong, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he's not like Stallone of this era, which is like, son,
True.
you ain't got enough body
Yeah.
to hold all that muscle. Stop it.
Yeah.
But also, the performance enhancers back then weren't so give you absolute bubble gut and
Things were different back then.
right.
Yeah. I mean, Arnold talked about that. Is that the roids that they did in the golden era were far different than how
Nothing.
they've been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which-
Even like Hulk Hogan talked about it. Hulk Hogan said like it's a guys getting roids was like as simple as getting aspirin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. anyone could get it easily. And I mean, I guess the side topic would be like, I've seen more people over the last like 10 years die from doing roids than I think I'd probably have heard or seen or researched on the previous like 40 years.
Yeah.
Well, it's so ubiquitous, right? And the other thing is
Yeah.
that so many people misunderstand the effects of it. I mean, you don't just take steroids and then sit on your ass and muscles magically appear, right?
Yeah.
But like Lyle Alzado, who was famous NFLer who later admitted, yes, he took all of the steroids in HGH. But he said that when in the NFL, the way that he got steroids was he went around gyms.
Mhm.
He would just find a gym and be like, okay, I'm going to buy it or whatever. I mean, he had a huge, I mean, ludicrous amounts of money he spent on steroids because
Yeah.
he was taking all of it, right?
Yeah.
And he claimed his brain cancer was caused by it. I'm a bit dubious of that, but the fact is that he also put in a lot of the work lifting and all that, right? So it's a crutch to get more. But again, if you don't have the work ethic and all that, all you're going to do is just damage your health, right? Make your nuts shrink. That's helpful. Maybe lose some hair, grow tits, that kind of stuff.
If you want your nuts to shrink, just go visit Frank Dukes.
Yeah, Frank Dukes
Yeah.
will just tuck them right back up in
Yeah.
for you, and maybe they can descend twice.
And some people would say there's reason that Stallone and Arnold, these guys are pushing 80 now. And I mean, there's reason that they're 80 and other guys die at 30.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is doctor managed. That you can find a doctor who will give you, the regime and you do, what you do. I think most of Stallone's now is like HGH just to, maintain a certain amount of youthfulness.
Well, even Alan Richardson said that for Reacher season 3. It's like he said I took some. I'm not gonna lie about it. I took some HGH. I'm 43 years old, man. I'm not 25 anymore. Like,
Right.
and he flat out admitted to it. So
Yeah. You can kind of tell, but it's definitely one of those things where, man, I've known guys that have taken it, and I even said at one point, I was like, if this was the stuff you're talking about, years ago, then maybe, but nowadays, just I wouldn't mess with it. I mean, obviously, there's like people who go super overboard, and there's people like Mike O'Hearn that have still to this day say, "Oh, I've never done steroids," and I'm like, "Okay, Mike, sure."
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Right.
and the thing is so I mean in the 70s and 80s, right? Anabolics were were pretty well known and pretty easy, to access and all that.
Yeah.
It's hard to get those now because anybody who is using them is probably having to deal with testing, and that's going to show up giant red flag, right? So what you get are all of these analogs that do complex chemistry within your body to then produce, the testosterone and NHC and all that, right? It's true. Alzado was insane, especially on the field. I mean, he would tell people, that after the game he was going to kill him in the parking lot. He was unhinged.
You can just let on the roids, Mr. Schwarzenegger. Stop stealing other people's food.
What's something? Yeah, it's like you should tell. You didn't say films like a look at Conan versus Terminator 2. Terminator 2, Arnold was still pretty big, but look at Conan. He was way fucking bigger.
Yeah, he's also closer to when he was in competition.
Yeah,
right?
competing. Yeah. The Rock. There's no way.
No,
the only thing The Rock like to won't say I watch his Instagram. The Rock, the thing is, but that fucker does spend a good 4 hours a day in the fucking. The Rock does put the work in though.
I mean, like he definitely puts time in for sure, and he definitely, goes
right.
Goes
but
hard,
my man is 50.
Yeah.
You don't look like I don't care what exercise regime you have. Hit 50 and tell me you can look like that without a little bit of extra boost.
What's the same? Right? But like you said, the thing with The Rock is like he's not just like taking stuff and just sitting there fucking. He's not watching TV and like eating cookies. Man, the guys. They even said too on the movie sets he's up at 5 o'clock in the morning from like 5 to 7 a.m.
He travels with his own gym.
Yeah,
it's he's taking enough to help his recovery,
because he is Samoan though. They show before WWE when he was in college football, he was like 330, and like even for wrestling, he trimmed down to 260. I mean,
no, not when he was college, but he was a linebacker.
Yeah,
he was like 240.
Really?
In college,
but he was puffy back then. He was puffy strong, but. The movies.
I thought he was pushing 300.
No, he was a linebacker.
I don't think ever.
And oh, by the way, wasn't a good one. He sat on the bench most of the time because he played for Miami.
Yep.
His daddy had a big name.
That's why he never went pro. I think I remember Jim. I remember something along those lines. For when he did have In and Out. I forgot exactly what that story was, but I do remember him talking about that on his Instagram. But yeah, I just don't know why he like. No one cares. Just admit to it, because then it's like now you've just got all this drama circulating the fact that like you won't admit to it. Kind of like Ross is a good point, like where like Liver King, where he's like, I didn't do it, and it's like, okay, stop taking roids and then let's see how you look, because Liver King had super bubble gut.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was using an insulin based one too, so that ends up with the bubble gut.
Like to go and saying The Rock wasn't the best linebacker, but according to the Hurricane, said he weighed 300 pounds at 6'5" when he was in football. Then for WWE, he slimmed down to 260. I mean, 40 pounds is a big difference going from fucking 300 to 260. That's 40 pounds is a lot, man.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That must have been because he was like, at least like his first 2 years, he was a linebacker and he rode the bench, and if he then magically bulked up. In the course of a year, I wonder where that came from.
Nothing's wrong with it, Hook. If I remember correctly, like The Rock had posted something about like him never having it before.
Yeah, it's all part of his. I always control my diet, and I'm all natural. Like all of this is. The thing is that when you start telling a lie and like build your reputation around it, right? Then you're always going to lie. You can't let anything slip, right? Because to admit that is to also have a problem.
Now you know why they wanted him for politics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why he didn't get on the field much, because he was playing for the U in the early 90s.
Yeah,
I like In and Out. I've only had it like a handful of times, but. When I was on the West Coast.
I know that like even Batista said, Batista was a bouncer before WWE, but Batista said his heaviest was fucking 330. I'm like, I can't imagine being fucking 330. Them numbers, holy shit, man. Like,
Yeah. I mean, and then look at him now, right?
Yeah.
Like he's uh, probably like what 200 maybe or less than that. I don't know. He doesn't look healthy, honestly.
It says currently he's 240, but like, and I think some people say Nick. People say, well, because Batista's been he's been so big, where like 240 for him is small, but compared to what he used to be, like,
Yeah, well, I mean, you see this with a lot of offensive, like NFL offensive linemen, right? You know, that they, because you have to be 300 plus pounds, you know, to be an offensive lineman, right? But they retire and they'll drop down to like 220, 240, you know, depending on like size of the frame and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just, there is so much work to maintain that mass of muscle that when you stop doing it, because it's also tearing you apart,
yeah.
while you're doing it, right? Whoop, there it goes, and it
Says,
blows away.
according to him, Batista said, "I'm in the best shape of my life since I was 19. At my heaviest, I weighed 370. When I was in WWE, I was around 325. Damn.
Yeah, Rossi, this is an interesting point. Where like for high school kids too, and we'll get back to the movie after this, but for high school kids, you know, most of them are essentially eating what their parents put on their plate. You know, they're not making their own
Definitely,
like,
yeah.
meals, right? So like, yeah, The Rock's like tells them, all right, you just gotta eat, you know, chicken and broccoli, you know, 3 times a day. While you're not at home or you're not on the fields or whatever, like tell your mom, your parents, whoever, to just, you know, cook this all the time.
Yeah,
Mom's probably not going to want to do that either. Let's just be real, even if you are meal prepping, but like,
also,
you know,
just run the numbers. Where are these calories coming from?
exactly. And for being a linebacker, you're eating a vegetable that was made by man, but we won't get into that. But you're eating chicken. Chicken doesn't have a lot of fat either, so like it's a lean meat. So again, like to your point, Goodwin, like where are the calories coming from? Because you ain't eating steak and red meat. You aren't carb loading as much as you should. You know, being a linebacker, because you need to put on that weight. Like unless you're drinking a lot of milk, but damn, like you know that.
Yeah, you'll throw it up. You can't drink enough.
That ain't the solution.
And imagine those broccoli farts. Nobody wants that in their life.
Nobody wants that.
That is too much.
No.
Too much.
Yeah.
I did not.
Broccoli farts and asparagus piss. I mean,
nice
what could be worse?
Miami, Ohio.
I'll tell you what wasn't fake or supplemented was Bolo Young's tits here. You know, those things are all natural.
Those are all natural.
Yeah. So he gets the dust thrown in his face. The white powder.
My wife immediately turned to me and said, "Is that cocaine?" And I was like, "He does not want Frank Dux to enhance his performance."
Listen, that shit would break the time barrier.
Yeah.
I know. Like Frank
Dux will just knock out the entire arena with a kick at that point. It's
Frank Dux, his record already not on cocaine was 0.12 seconds.
Yeah. He would have traveled back in time to knock a guy out. It's
yeah, he turns into an 80s businessman when you give that to him too. No.
Yeah.
Starts buying stocks. We got to up these numbers.
Yeah. He's selling real estate like a motherfucker.
Rookie numbers, kid.
Yeah.
Cocaine is for closers.
I love this moment though. It's so funny. He's just like completely lost.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. And the sad music that's playing. Oh my god, it's hilarious.
Here's the manliest.
It's like this is the big the soundtrack is doing so much work in this movie. It's like, do you need to feel emotion? I'm here. Let's play.
And this is why he took bamboo sticks to the stomach so he could take Chong Li's thick ass leg kicks.
Yeah, look at that thigh.
Look at
Jesus wept.
Yes.
Dude, his calf muscle is bigger than his freaking bicep. Like,
yes.
I was left Nick on Amazon. It says right here, general trivia. The movie was touted as a true story, but over the years, doubts have arisen about its veracity.
Doubts?
Yeah.
I mean, if by doubts you mean demonstrably proven wrong, yes.
It says, yeah, most martial arts enthusiasts consider Frank Dux' accounts of competing in a secret tournament complete fiction.
Yes.
You think?
Dude, that's
some people have said nobody else ever confirmed his story.
Well, in fact, they just proved it. Yeah, Jake is absolutely right.
Yep. Milking a tie on Frank Dux.
Mm-hmm.
The CIA has no record of him ever working for them.
Yeah, not only that, but like his stories about, I fought in Vietnam or whatever. It's like, my brother in Christ, you didn't join the military until 77.
Yeah, and he never apparently left the country.
No, yeah.
Exactly, Bush. His thigh is just another bigger bicep.
Yes, it is, dude. It's like
Yes.
2 of my legs duct taped together. God, Mongolian
based
beef.
on true events.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chong Li's pecs are so big that he's able to maintain their size, but while somehow relocating that same muscle to his legs
Yes.
to be that
Yes.
big.
Well, they have a mind of their own. They'll just go where the hell they're needed
And
most, right?
in comparison to Frank Dukes' core.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like some people have like, a 32-inch waist. That's actually Chong Li's thigh size.
It's like getting slapped with a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should have used thicker bamboo.
Yeah, that bamboo. I don't know. They grow bamboo that big. It's
He's getting punched in the back. I think if I remember correctly, it was like right in the lat.
Yeah.
But man, like he's getting beat down pretty bad.
Frank Dukes turned into Daredevil in the course of 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, eyes bruising up right now.
He's
already
slapping him so hard that the other side of his face is impacted.
Yeah.
Like this is like obviously a lot of physical endurance here that he's being tested in pain.
He slapped him so hard he looks like Brad Pitt now. Look at that. You done pitted him, bro.
Or they take lives in Chong Li's sake here, Rab.
Yeah, Chong Li's dim mac here was overpowered. It went through Frank's cheek and killed someone in the audience.
Dude just holding a bucket of popcorn just falls over.
Oh,
Oh shit!
Right.
He's like, oh shit! Man down!
We have a paper down.
Fucking good one.
The guy sitting next to him had part of his arm burned from the
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. He had a limp for the rest of his life.
Yeah. You're right, Jake. He does remind me of a Baki character. Actually, that quad is luau by itself.
Yeah, that's some ham right there.
What are the 5 fingers? Made it say to the face.
Slap!
That was cold-blooded.
Charlie Murphy.
Cold-blooded. Yeah, one of the judges got bruised.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Well, that's what they get for turning their back on him.
Nice. Let's get one more. Or Chong Li's gonna smack you. He will.
Yeah. That dim mac is still floating around somewhere in the universe. You do not want to have that shit run into you.
I got you.
Yeah. It might come and smack you so hard that you bust your feet into a corner and then you break your foot on top of that. Who knows?
Yeah,
a lot of
we
bad
don't
stuff
know.
that could happen.
We don't know. It could just graze your nuts, and you ain't gonna have kids.
See?
Oh man!
Fucking Waylon, you legend.
Absolutely. If
Listen,
you hit him any harder, the balcony just collapsed.
Yeah.
The whole secret space that they were in would have had a huge hole.
Yeah,
Would've
this
shown
is
it's
actually
not
what
secret.
brought down the walled city.
Yeah,
That's why this
there
was
you
the
go,
last
there you
movie
go.
shot here.
it's like how Rocky and Rocky 4 cured communism.
Exactly.
More crazy eyes from Chong Li here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's it's like if he could shoot laser beams out of his eyes, he would right now. But it's just masculinity.
Yep.
Reagan didn't bring down that wall.
Yeah.
Chong Li did.
Yeah, that dim mac just brushed it. Mr. Chong Li, tear down this wall.
He created such a wave of profanity that still
Goddamn
hangs over
right.
Lake Mission to this day.
Yes.
Yeah, and poor Frank still can't see, but this is a nice time to gloat, right?
Yep.
Chong
Oh, he
Li.
pulls a Jackson.
Yeah.
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 Uh-huh.
Exactly.
No, wait. No. Chong Li was about to put a hole through Frank Dux here.
Yes. Yeah.
But he's able to endure once again.
As you do.
And this is when we see the rage, that pure masculinity rage just get released here because he can't see.
Oh. He's outraged.
He's outraged and raged, and then like
this right here. This is pre-Goku.
Look at this. Look at this.
Look what I did to you, Frank.
It's this big.
Exactly.
Right there.
You say you'd win, but I told you I would beat you down, Frank. I am the better.
That's right.
It was Toriyama turning Goku into Super Saiyan.
Remember where we are. We're in China.
China.
I am the king here, Frank, not you. If you want to be king, you might want to go back to America.
That's right.
The contract is
Look
fulfilled.
at that right there. Man,
Just the voting results came in. Very, very disappointed here, Frank.
I
Realizing.
want to edit this and put an accordion between his hands and give Chong Li back there a slinky.
Yeah, pure metal accordion.
Stretch Armstrong.
look at Frank's face. We have all had nights at Taco Bell.
How many fingers, Frank?
Come on, ice cream.
4 packets of sauce. Was I drunk?
It might be one of Frank's might be one of Trump's favorite movies. It'd be hilarious.
Of course,
if it was. Like Mr. Trump, President Trump. What's one of your favorite movies? Well, I'm a big fan of Bloodsport. I knew
We're gonna make Kumite great again.
Yeah, we're gonna have a secret one, but we're gonna tell people about it though. I got to get back in the mindset.
Oh yes,
and stop that fist.
Yeah.
I believe I have a nice clip that we hear Frank again. It's weird because of the damn synth that's playing in the background.
Oh yeah.
And he makes some weird. Jean-Claude Van Damme makes some weird noises that are hilarious. I laughed a couple times through this.
Yes.
Wee.
Just to symbolize like he can't see. It's all lights.
This is what blind people go through every day.
Yeah, I thought it was tinnitus, but it's the guy playing the pad on the synths that's driving me insane.
Ultimate Kumite.
Oh shit!
He's just powering up, man.
Yeah, he's
yeah, that's
up the
Goku
level.
mode there.
Yeah,
Goddamn right.
Yeah, he went Saiyan.
This is Goku and Frieza.
Like, why don't you just hold on to this kick for me?
But he's still laughing, man. It's like this. I appreciate the villain that Chong Li is here because like it's like he's defining this unrelenting masculinity that he has. He's like, I'm gonna kill you, and not just do it quickly but painfully as well. Like it's like this. It's like there's this chaos aura, and then there's this like merciful, peaceful aura that Frank's trying to deliver here. Right.
Hey Frank, remember back when you could see? That was good.
That was good times, man.
Good times, man.
Well, especially for the film, they had to make Franco blind because in real life, I mean, that powder just would have just enhanced him.
Right. Yeah. We don't want Frank going from like a 7 to 11.
Oh.
Well. Oh, he
You
already
can't
beat that
tell
guy.
it
Just
because
kidding.
of the white right there, but he's actually floating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Well, this is. I mean, the thing is, it would be totally unbelievable that a fully powered Frank Dux would struggle with Chong Li, right? So you have to blind him in order for it to make it fair for
Right.
Chong Li. This is really what's happening.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Later on, Tony Hawk skated on this platform
Yes,
here.
yeah, he did.
Part of the hidden level once you collect all the tapes. That's
Right, half pipes everywhere, dude.
Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield actually practiced the triple Disney on this.
It's funny because he keeps roundhouse kicking him here, I believe, and he's not even looking at him.
He misses. He misses every one of these kicks, and the music is like yay, and the girl's like cheering, and I'm like, he hasn't hit him yet. What are you cheering at?
The fact that Goodwin fucking referenced back to school.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Don't make me bring up Dead Man's Party. I'll do it.
To the actor's credit, he has also played some of the type one old Jackie Chan movies. Yeah, for sure.
That is the perfect screenshot.
Yep. I mean, you know those splits I've been doing with chairs? I can do them in the air. So yeah,
That's right.
He's floating here.
Look at that. She's back there cheering his balls.
Yeah, she's like, oh, that's a nice gooch shot.
Yeah.
Her?
Like he just gave birth to a little Asian kid.
Yeah.
She's not looking down. She's looking up.
She's looking up. Yeah, you know what she's cheering.
She's like, I've already had that.
Yep. No,
And
I'm locked on.
Tickle my taint and call me Susie. That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
I truly hate that pumpkin.
Chong Li.
Yes.
Helen Keller roundhouses.
It is.
Yeah. Blinded by the right. Welcome to Bloodsport.
Oh god.
Go balls, go. Yeah, picture right now, totally different movie. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
well, I bet her cheering stops in a hurry.
Hold on. You mean Harren Carver?
Yeah.
To be honest, Frank's
Welcome
balls.
to Walk. Can I take an order?
Frank's balls are so massive. If Chong Li would have kicked his balls, he would have broke both his legs.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still putting up a fight. Okay, this is where he actually, I think, continues to kick him. Okay, so here's the shot for Kata. We got Frank Dux' foot. We've got the big toe touching his jawline right there.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, look, June.
Next toe is. I mean, it's kind of spread. Is you have straddling the jaw right there.
Right. Kind of like
two toes touching, man.
His jawline. Like,
Yeah. Just a loving stroke.
Right.
This is the exact hue of silly putty back in the 90s.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Amputee beige. Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposedly Frank is blind during this event. He can't see. So he.
I don't know if you want to see Gooch doing air splits.
A whole lot of gooch.
Yeah, exactly. His name is Helen Killer. Look at them pigs. I know.
Oh yeah.
So Kata actually stops the movie at this point.
Yeah.
38 seconds later, he can start it again.
Right. Yeah. A lot of baby oil in these shots.
And on the panel right now.
Oh, yeah. Why not?
It's sort of like, goodbye. I'll see you again.
Yeah, this may explain why Diddy had all the baby oil. He was actually trying to do a Bloodsport remake.
Look at that face.
Yeah. And he was just touched by greatness, feet greatness there. Or foot greatness, I should say. And he was like, what? Like drunk.
Well, I think he may have come.
That too, yeah.
I mean, you get stroked on the jaw with the toes.
Watch again, slow motion. He does 4 roundhouse kicks in a row
That's what I'm saying.
While being blinded. My God, you legend, Frank.
Yeah.
He only did 4.
He missed every one, but it was okay. Yeah.
I mean, in real life, Frank did like about 20, but
yeah, right. They had to cut it down because like the real Frank Dux was doing so many that they're like, we can't put that many in the film.
Yeah, I mean, they were limited. The budget limited them in the cinema. They could only run 24 frames per second. You have to use high-speed cameras to really, capture Frank Dux. So
the producer, Frank, we don't want to make this silly now. Come on.
Yeah, the theaters will not allow us to run 1,000 frames per second, Frank. So, we're going to have to edit. It's some creative license.
$2 million budget. Come on, guys.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Look at that shot. That's peak masculine.
This is Enter the Dragon where we have like 50 cameras in a circle. Okay, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great masculine shot here because Chong Li has finally been beat.
But not humiliated.
Right.
Yeah, that's what Frank is now demanding.
Right. He says, say Uncle Roo.
Yeah.
Say Uncle Roo.
Say it. Say it.
Those biceps.
Why did you say that name?
Yeah, he's got good flex going on. He's got the chest striations going out. He's flexing his traps a bit.
Goddamn right.
Biceps. We can't see what else is going on, but
Oh, he's fully erect.
Yeah. That's exactly why he really.
Well, he mounted Chong Li from behind, in a sense. So.
Yeah. But
assert his dominance.
dude, the referee is just so like
I mean,
He's in it.
nonchalant. He's like, damn, this dude's getting dominated right now.
my
Yeah.
God.
Like he's like,
He is also
seen,
erect.
Yeah, he's like, I've seen all the masculinity my body and mind can take right now,
Yep.
and it's
Yeah.
Frank Dux.
Yep. I'm gonna have
Chong Li.
priapism. I mean, at least 4 hours. I'm gonna have to see a doctor.
Yeah. He used to have hair back before this tourney started.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's gone now.
Frankie just suck out the masculine energy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
You sick bastard.
Uh-oh, hot dog.
This is what I call a blood sport.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Frank reclaims his power by not killing him because he could have easily just snapped his neck, right? Like that would have been the Chong Li thing to do. But he refuses to become what he's fighting.
Oh no. That wouldn't be punking enough, right?
Right.
You have to submit. You
Yep.
have to say mate, right?
Yep.
That you give up like a bitch.
Yep.
Say it.
Say it. I'm a bitch. But yeah, like that's the masculine act right there. Like, I'm gonna force you to tap out, right?
Yep.
Because now you have to live with this humiliation.
Yep. Death is too good for you.
Yeah. And he also takes the bandana back from Ray Jackson. So it's
Look at that ref pose. Look at that ref pose. It's beautiful.
Oh my
Look at
God.
that.
Look at that. He is
That's the
celebrating the glory of.
like,
exactly. I was
He's
"What
like,
type
I
of
kind of did
glory
this
and-
too,
and
guys.
honor?"
Yeah.
That's the type of
Actually,
honor.
that was, Chong Li earlier was showing how large his penis is. The ref is now announcing how big Frank's is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's
Wheeler.
big, and there's Frank big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't kill me. We could have a sequel.
And we do, unfortunately.
Oh,
It's-
no, there's never 4 or 5 sequels ever to this.
Yes.
X-Men would really tap all the time.
That's true.
She does a good job, Rossi. It's true. Thank you very much. Stopping for the
MC. Young man.
You might have, Gordon, you might have taken out Blue on that one.
Oh, Jesus. I can't breathe.
Now, are they singing it to Chong Li? Because of the young man, there's no need to be down.
Yeah. I said, young man.
Get yourself off the ground.
Frank Dux was never in the Navy.
Ray Jackson's upset he couldn't be here to be the M.
Yeah.
I guess the other 3 judges could be the MCA though.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just doing it you can't see in this picture.
Young man.
Yeah, but MC is dead.
Oh shit! Hold on.
I hate him.
Oh man.
I hate you.
Yeah, Chong Li, after the humiliation, moved to America and changed his name to George Floyd.
I can't breathe.
Chong Li's so big that he actually could breathe. Still.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess the final moment in this segment is just how after the victory, Frank is able to visit Ray in the hospital, and that's again where we see the bond
Goddamn right.
continued. Huh?
See, you damn right.
Yeah.
What the white?
His neck after all that, dude. That was some
Yeah, he's ecstatic though. He like the fact that the bond between them is continuously like forged, and through the combat and the sacrifice, and like it's just again it's solidified through the self-respect that they have, Frank gets his own ceremonial sword, right, in the scene, so it's now he's earned it. So I think in these last scenes, like
look at beer. What a surprise!
Right. Yep. China Budweiser.
Mm-hmm.
It does reaffirm that like there is masculine growth here. That it's not so much ending with the glory, even though he wins, but it's like there's this gratitude, humility, and closure for both of them. Really, like, I think the fact that this movie essentially exists because it happens because of a stolen sword, or a semi-stolen sword, I should say. And it ends with him earning it honorably. Like, it's probably just the main aspect of what Frank puts himself through, because he wants to demonstrate that, like, to him, and I think in this movie, like the ultimate purpose of masculine strength is to serve Tanaka, who made it possible before him. Because if Tanaka just had kicked him out, then who knows what Frank Dux would have made from himself, right? He could have been a nobody, and not one of the best fighters that ever lived on the face of the earth. And you see a lot of this, stuff between like the friendship, obviously from what we saw before about him being a student to a mentor, but now he embodies all the values of what he was taught, like including friendship here, and that's where he's like, I love you, and he's like, oh, anytime, anywhere, any place, I'm there.
That's
for
redundant.
You. Yeah, I know, but and then she's like, oh my God, you guys are too much macho stuff. I can't take the testosterone.
It isn't.
Now the hilarious thing though is she's also like Frank Dukes' cheerleading squad, because is like, oh yeah, I heard you knocked him out, and she's like, even better, and he's like, what? He's like, made him say Mate, because of course Frank is too cool to actually like brag that shit on his own. He needs to bring his bragging bitch with him.
If you left yet, Dax, but good night, man. 9 out of 10. Appreciate that. And then basically the end here where he's already on the plane is like, what's wrong, guys? You late? And then I don't know why she did it, but I think she just thought it would be cool. But and then we get the most factual information here.
Yeah. This is absolutely correct.
How drunk am I?
This is where the real masculinity is found in this movie. Okay?
Yeah, this movie is the pale reflection of the true masculinity.
Yeah, very end here, everyone watching.
All these numbers were watered down.
Right. So again, if you've never seen this movie before, if you don't know who Frank Dux is, it's a motion picture based off the true events in life of Frank W. Dux.
Yes.
8-year-old me thought this was real.
And then in a 5-year span.
Well, 17-year-old me was convinced this shit was real.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, like a 15, 16-year-old me was like, oh my God, Frank Dux. I was like, I remember thinking,
yeah, this is a badass. Yeah. Then you start to hear shit and you're like, wait a minute.
He's better than Bruce Lee, but in a 5-year span, he fought 329 matches.
Fucking
he retired as a world heavyweight full contact Kumite champion.
Undefeated, man.
Undefeated.
I would.
Undefeated. 329 and 0.
What a legend.
And that's why like everyone else kind of can't, like Steven Seagal didn't want to fight him.
No.
Chuck Norris, learned from him.
Yep.
Bruce Lee was like, I'm not that fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Now,
I just to give you a sense of Frank Dukes' giant pile of horseshit, I want you to notice. Go back. That he's undefeated, right? 329 matches, right?
Listen,
the next one is like how many knockouts he had in a row. It's like 56.
This is all based on
in a single tournament.
Yeah.
Dude, like
3.2 seconds. My God.
To go
Fastest punch with a knockout, 0.12 seconds. Do you understand how you have to time that stuff? You have to have super high-speed cameras running continuously. I mean, the Kumite arena would be nothing but film canisters that they are constantly having to run up to the high-speed camera because that thing's running at like 1,000 frames per second.
Plus the amount of lights that they'd have to have in there.
Oh, yeah. Everybody walks out just sunburnt. I mean, they all died of skin cancer.
But Goodwin, to be honest, these numbers are actually watered down to what they're true.
Yeah.
But how high did you have to be to go, you know what? Fuck this. I'm putting this shit on film so everybody can see it. And then the problem is he kept showing up in the public eye. His stories kept changing. They kept getting more ridiculous.
And just for context, right? Like the fastest knockout in the entire world, regardless of the sport, is apparently 4 seconds from 1947.
But
boxing.
But Frank wasn't there.
I also want to explain to you how the human body works, right? Nerve impulses from input to reaction for a new thing, right? A thing that you haven't been constantly trained for, right? Is at least 150 milliseconds. That's 0.15 seconds, right? To do a thing that you're really trained at well, right? Just like instinctual, but it has to go through the brain, not a reflex like it's a knee, right? It takes 90 milliseconds, right? So Frank, who didn't just like repetitively, I'm always hitting in this one place and everything is trained. He saw an opening, he took advantage of it, and was faster than the human brain can actually operate.
I mean, yeah.
That's how good he is.
Frank's a legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really is. And, even for like the UFC, the fastest UFC knockout was between Masvidal and Ben Askren when Masvidal hit him with that flying knee and knocked him out. And it's like he obviously had to run, so there was some travel time involved. So it's like, to say you were knocked out with a punch in 0.12 seconds, you had to have been standing within punching range for starters, right? And and again, like you just said, like for the right moment, impact, velocity, like all the physics involved, and then for the body to get knocked out like that, I mean, it's unfathomable. Like it's literally impossible.
Yeah, it's almost like it's bullshit because it's bullshit.
No.
There are only so many things holding back the future from mediocrity from taking place. And part of this is debunking, Frank. If that had never happened,
we would have been watching Ass, the movie,
already,
and it would have won all of the Academy Awards.
But also, even these stats right here, fastest punch with a knockout, but also fastest knockout itself was 3.2 seconds.
Yeah.
So,
I also love the fact that fastest punch with a knockout is in seconds, but the fastest kick is in miles per hour.
I know.
Well,
I was about to say the interesting part of the third part is that they clock the kick knockout in miles per hour.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to put greatness into one category.
Yeah, then they'll have like hardest punch with a knockout in Newton meters because somehow they can measure that shit. Okay.
Exactly. Americans will do anything to measure stuff outside of metric.
Anything to avoid metric, right?
Yeah.
Pound feet. We'll use pound feet. Okay, it's. But again, Duke's us. All right. He actually won the franchise war. We no longer go to Taco Bell.
He said pound feet.
Dukes of Hazmat. It's so toxic that it just might be true.
Yes.
Oh God. Yeah. And again, just to have 56, knockouts in a single tournament, because that's not talking about wins.
That's consecutive.
Right.
Yeah.
We now measure
how many
I want you to understand Mike Tyson's run for knockouts was insane. Yeah, fuck that. Bush has got it absolutely nailed right there. With the,
I think Goodwin can't say it in a single sentence.
Yeah. Fastest booger flick is in kilojoules.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Mike Tyson was. I mean, his like consecutive knockout record was holy shit. This is the baddest man on the planet, right? Nowhere close to Frank Dux.
Right.
Hey, Mike Tyson's a champion, but he's not Frank Dux.
Yeah, 7.4 kangaroos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the fucking Velocipaster of martial arts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you find out he's Canadian American, you know it's BS. That's
Exactly.
the problem.
Yeah.
It's the Canadian part that makes it BS.
Yeah. 420 Dukes power is what my car currently puts out.
Right, and then
Dukes
subsequently,
Ryu. Oh
Mr.
God.
Dukes founded the first American ninjutsu system, Dukes Ryu.
That's where Street Fighter got Ryu from. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like the character of Ken in Street Fighter was loosely modeled off of Frank Dux.
Well, I mean,
A vastly underpowered.
Yeah.
Actually, if you take all of the Mortal Kombat characters and you combine them into one, you're starting to approach Frank Dux.
True.
Right.
I like the alternate title of this movie is True Lies.
It's real. Stop saying that. That's blasphemy.
Reminds me of Amazon Women on the Moon, where they had the Believe It or Not, but it was called Bullshit or Not.
Yeah.
Oh,
How many dukes per second did this earn?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dukes per square inch. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, DPS.
Yeah.
Measures and Dukes.
Yeah.
Damage per second? No. Dukes per second.
Dukes per second.
Oh, it's the high tier, exactly.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me recalibrate all of my instruments.
It's like I don't use regular gasoline. I use rocket fuel.
Yeah.
Sad part, Gordon, is I can understand Chong Li more than Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson and Chong Li have very similar speech patterns.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat your
kicks.
Israel, Chuck Norris got his beard from Frank Dux.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah,
we
really?
were talking about that earlier, Israel, where like Chuck Norris actually couldn't grow a beard until he met Dukes face to face.
Yeah.
Give him somebody to look up to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee couldn't have had anything to rip out unless
If it
Dukes
was
had, yeah.
Yeah.
for
Frank
Dukes, yeah.
Yeah.
If it like all the jokes about Chuck Norris were like Chuck Norris doesn't do a push up, he pushes the world down.
Yes.
Dukes made that possible.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, how do you think the world got disconnected from its normal attachments so you could push it down?
It just
Frank
shows
Dux,
how
he kicked it.
It shows how humble Frank Dux really is.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have had Air Jordan without Air Dukes.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
See what he's pointing up right there? That's not to God. That's not in thanks of Jesus.
No.
Thank you, Frankie.
Thank you, Frankie.
Michael Jordan jumped because Frank Dukes jumped first.
Yeah.
You see what Gord put down? Oh my God.
Dukes round us every individual beard hair.
That's why he can't shave it off.
Yeah.
It's like once you grow it.
Oh, they're
never
permanently
shave it.
attached. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just kicked him right in there.
You sick bastard.
Rocket thrust is measured in Giga Dukes. Exactly.
Yes.
Chuck Norris has had a beard out of the womb, dude.
Only because Frank kicked his mom. It was a dim Mac. It traveled back in time.
Got his mom pregnant with Chuck Norris, and then once Chuck Norris was like, "Oh, okay."
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly, Rossi. Like the actual punishment that they really go through, especially some of the harder ones, right? I mean, heavyweight ones, especially, right? Like, which have the least amount of fighters. So,
Sir Isaac Dukeson.
Yes. Yeah, Waylon is correct.
I cover a bit Frank Dukes, and then became venomous.
That's when they became venomous.
Yep. Rattlesnakes only exist because Frank Dukes decided to attach them to the snake, so he knew what they were.
Yeah.
No.
When Chuck Norris enters a room, he doesn't turn on the lights. He stares in the dark until it gets turned on. The thing about it is that Duke created both light and darkness.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, how is it that the science that goes into him smacking that brick actually went back in time and ended the dinosaurs? But we're still here today. I don't know. That's a kind of like that weird paradox. I can't explain it. How,
Yeah,
when did they end?
he creates a a time loop at that point.
Right.
And
Oh my God.
Yeah. So no one really talks about the paradigm of how Frank Dux was able to break this brick. But it wasn't the brick, the bottom brick that was breaking here. This was actually the Big Bang. So
he created another universe with that.
Right. Yeah. So the multiverse is, talked about in theory, but Frank Dux is responsible. That's how all the other IPs are like, we need to do what Frank Dux did and just create the multiverse.
Definitely.
But he counts his KD ratio in
So here's an interesting thing that it struck me because we were laughing at Forrest Whitaker's eye. Ogre also has a lazy eye, and it just struck me like halfway through. I was like, I wonder if it's like the opposite eye. So like if you took Forrest Whitaker and Ogre and like combined them, you would get like two good eyes and then two absolutely catawampus eyes, and they would match up.
God.
Right there,
right kicks, left kicks. When an unstoppable force meets an immovable object was the earliest description of Frank Dux clapping.
It's true.
Duke slid his feet across the floor on carpet too much, and it created the static that killed off that kid from Powder.
Jeez. You thought Bo and Luke were the Dukes of Hazzard, but it was actually the Dukes of Hazzard.
I like Powder. That's a good movie.
Yeah, that's good. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Did White Bear got the Powder avatar? You sick bastard! Oh, God.
White Bear has everything at his disposal.
White Bear is a legend.
This dude's entire career is based off of Frank Duke's anomaly. I'm not saying it's Duke's, but it's Duke's.
But it's Duke's. Yeah.
Frank Dux is so amazing. He turned Robert Downey Jr. black.
Yes.
I'm just a Dukes. Playing the Dukes.
Playing the Dukes.
Frank's is a
Dukes Ex Machina. Yeah. Dukes Ex Machina. All right.
Dukes.
Let's
schlong
go.
That is
It's one Nick. Good one has said so many times that the chat. Sometimes the chat is the best panelist.
Chat is always the resource. I mean, you're like,
oh, crushed.
Chat, you've been awesome tonight.
Yeah,
I can't deny that whatsoever. Who knows, movie could spark so many jokes. That's what I'm saying. Like Rick, like
it's important to understand Frank Dux is a joke.
Yeah,
and so obviously everything spawns from him.
Yeah, like when I was trying to figure out movies to do in this, first couple of months, I'm like, Bloodsport is definitely one of those iconic action movies, and that a lot of people have seen it, and it gets talked about to a fair extent, but there are some masculine moments that happen in it, but the problem with this is obviously just there's a lot of things that are objectively wrong about the movie. And the fact that it is all based on a lie. Like none of it is loosely true, whatsoever. So it's just,
it's complete unadulterated horseshit.
Yeah. And so to try and take it seriously, like other action movies out there that we'll cover, like it's hard to, I should say it's easy to joke about it. Whereas like other movies, like let's say we talk about Rocky at some point, right? Like, which we probably will, but like there's, I'm sure we'll probably make some jokes here and there, but there's less. Well, if Gord's on the panel or if he's in chat, there's bound to be jokes. But like it's one of those things where it's Like there is an actual fighter named Rocky, right? So like a legitimate fighter named Rocky, right? So it's, you could make those comparisons to say like, well, this is actually kind of real versus, Dukes is just a load of horse shit. But yeah, like it's,
I mean, you weren't there, so
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, before Alexander the Great, there was Dukes.
There used to be land before Dukes. Then it became.
That was the way I came back slowly here for you last time. Ducks, goose. Are you kidding me? If there were ever two ducks, there'd be geese anywhere.
Christ.
I hate the boxing in Rocky. Fight me. Like, you mean the actual like choreography of the fighting, or just the fact that like
Rocky has the best
it's all
defense.
Yeah, it's like there's no defense whatsoever because obviously
that kind of kills it at times, but
Where did Whitebeard get Waterworld from?
But exactly that,
You
Boosh.
sick
Yeah,
bastard.
Super Nintendo, baby.
Marciano was
God, you legend.
awesome. Yeah, Rossi, 12 to 6 elbows are legal in UFC because the commission and regulators saw the old brick breaking shows on ESPN. The Dullards thought UFC fighters would break people in half with their elbows. I mean, it's not even so much the power. I mean, it's the fact that the elbow can cut people so damn well. I mean, how many fights have we seen where like you'll get back armed elbowed and like hitting the eye or the head, and it's just like a huge knot, or like you'll just have a gash. I mean, elbows are vicious. I mean, like back in Pride where you could elbow on the ground too. Like, I mean, I think you can still do it in UFC, right? But there were some nasty ones in Pride from what I remember.
Mountain Dukes.
It was Dukes, and it was good. You should do a Stallone movie in July. His birthday is July 6th. Fun fact: my grandpa, and him share birthday. Nice. Rab, I already do have a movie set for July 7th. I mean, I don't care. I'll tell you guys what it is. So we're going to be covering The Patriot on July 7th because
good movie,
July 4th is the Friday before that. And this is a very patriotic, American-loving 1-2A pro channel and stream, I should say.
Okay.
So, we got to cover something patriotic, and what better movie to do it than the Patriot?
Man,
But
Jason Isaac is a fantastic villain in that movie. He's such a piece of shit. Oh my god, man.
Oh, Booch, I know that it's as fake as
He's
as fake as Frank Dux.
He's gored.
I don't know the victims of Dukes though. He can't see without his glasses. Nothing. I don't know.
If Red Bull gives you wings, Mountain Dukes gives you a beard.
That's what stirred up those bees.
Yeah.
Dude, you pull up Macaulay Culkin. Shit.
Dukes of Hazzard, yeah. Duke Skywalker is all the Jedi. I am the Jedi. I will say though, in terms of let me see what movie I am covered. We are going to be doing a Stallone movie though. This year.
Judge Dredd.
No, we already went through that pain on Yad's channel. I won't put you all through that again. I swear.
I'm the law.
Let's see here. I won't tell you what it is. I will tell you when it is, though. We're going to be covering a Stallone movie in September. So I know wait a couple months, but we've got a pretty good list. So I'm looking forward to that, though, for sure. Because like I said, I want to try and cover a lot of the masculine stars as well. So, if you couldn't kind of tell, that's why I've sort of been not all over the place, but I've been trying to touch in different genres, different types of movies and whatnot. And obviously, try to get all the characters and actors involved, because a lot of those actors are just, we don't see those types of actors anymore. Like we were kind of saying before, or a lot of these a lot of these current actors, they don't evoke masculinity. Like in as silly as this movie is, like, you know, Jean-Claude Van Damme, you know, his character in this movie, even though it's all, you know, fake. If we put the fake stuff aside, like for what his character analysis has to go through still, like there is masculinity here. So it's just sort of why we're, you know,
Yeah.
going back to the good old eras. You know,
Well, I think as bullshit as Frank Dux is, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason that he comes up with the bullshit that he does, and it's because he's aspiring to a masculinity that he clearly can't reach. But
yeah,
that's also true for like stories that come out of wars where you see a guy do a thing, right? And there's an underlying heroism to it, but there's also like the human reality of what it does. When people are telling the story, it's always inflated, right? He was doing this thing. He was cool and calm and collected, and he never had any
Yeah.
fear. And he, like, you know, actually wiped out an entire platoon just slapping him with his dick and all of these things, right? And so the reason that we appreciate these things is that it goes to like this heroic archetype that we have kind of in our head about, you know, the peak of masculinity, and especially with regards to combat or you know, sport, where you compete against the best in the most direct way you can, right? And the idea that okay, well, this is this giant fight where all of the best from around the world show up, and there's no rules, right? It's other than, you know, you get knocked out, you say Mate, or you get knocked the hell off of the ring, and then here you go, right? It's the kind of thing that especially like younger men, they're like, hell yes, that's where I want to test my mettle.
Yep.
And be, you know, the best ever and all that, right? Frank Dux makes up this bullshit, but the reason that it that people latch on to it is that it calls to like an inner desire that especially younger men have, right? And it's why these kinds of movies hang around. Sure, they're absurd, but that's, you know, kind of the point. I mean, you get these archetypes are kind of by nature the extreme, right? You know, a pinnacle or an ideal that maybe you can't reach, but you still strive for it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna put a poll up for our masculinity ratings, but while we let the
Rob Knott is right. Yeah, it's wrestling, it's WWE.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Yep.
male soap opera.
Yep.
Right. Good and evil, and things are resolved directly.
And you know, I mean, I watched wrestling, probably not as much as some people did. Like I had friends that were super into it, but like I'd watch it with my dad from time to time. And I mean, like, you know, I grew up in the Hulk Hogan era, the Jake the Snake. You know, I saw a little bit of Andre the Giant before he passed away, and I was like, you know, super small child. But you know, seeing the whole, you know, WCW, WWF era, you know, the NWO, you know, Wolfpack, you know, to the, you know, it changing from WWF to WWE, like where, and I mean, just the Attitude Era alone, to me, had some of the best and most like masculine storylines. I mean, and especially just the characters that we got. Like, again, like it is male soap opera, but the thing about it just being so like powerful for boys and to men to get their hands on, and to just create a nut punch of the 1980s.
Fucking white bear.
Give me a better one. I deny you.
If you're just tuning in and you don't know what we're referring to, if you haven't watched Bloodsport, we're referring to this.
Turn into Bloodsport after that.
Yeah.
Bloodsport. But yeah, I mean, I don't really watch a lot of wrestling anymore. So I'm kind of lost with a lot of what sort of happened. I mean, there was some stuff I saw from like The Rock, and then what's his face, Cody Reigns, no, Roman Reigns, and then it was Cody. I can't think of his last name or what they call him with like the bleach, like platinum blonde hair. I'm just again, I don't really follow it as much as I used to, but I mean that's what I think this movie could be related to. You know, I mean, it's like this Bloodsport does not have a good plot and does not have good dialogue. There's a lot of things that are not good about this movie, but
it is a shit movie.
Yeah.
It is a shit movie, and I love it.
right. Would we if we had to watch this on any given day, would you watch this movie or would you watch Judge Dredd?
Oh,
Ooh, I'm watching this. I'm watching this.
Yeah, watching this.
Since some of us had to watch Judge Dredd last Friday.
Yes,
on the
yes,
ad
yeah.
stream.
it depends on the panel, Nick.
Well, I mean, true, but I feel like more people or most people would probably rather watch Bloodsport.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to fast forward through some parts, and flashbacks got
Well,
to go.
as we said,
The romance thing has got to go.
Yeah.
The reflecting is, you know, the sad. Whenever the sense goes sad, okay, well, you need to skip that part and just get to the ass kicking parts.
Yeah. Because at least Bloodsport has some good fight scenes.
Blood.
Chong Li.
God
What,
damn it.
Rossi?
And those pecs.
Yes.
This movie predicted Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh, 9-8 are still tied, huh? Interesting. It's fisting time. Yeah, I mean, well, that's where you get the Johnny Cage, you know, his fist from, right? From Dukes here.
I am the blood.
Cody Rhodes. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I don't know what Zax would rate this, but Blue. While the poll's still going, we'll let the poll go a little bit longer. What would you give Bloodsport here?
The film is masculine. It's peak 9 out of 10 because it's a stupid film. It's a good one said. It's a bad film, but watching again because the fact that like Frank has these like masculine ties to his sensei, and Jackson's the MVP of the film, and the whole like loyalty and brother bond. It's so. It's so great, and like I said, the friendship and broship where it's like it's such simple stupid storytelling. The film is dumb, but it's 80s. It's just like it's a product of its time, and yeah, the film is just I could watch this film. It's dumb, but like I could rewatch it all day because it's self aware of what it is. You know, it's like and even Chong Li is 5'6". I'm 5'6". The guy, but he has a presence of a guy being like
No. You misread that. That's his width.
Yeah, that's his shoulder span.
Yeah.
But that's the scary part, Nick. It's like, you know, Chong Li, guys like that. It's like, it truly shows that, like, it's not about how big you are, it's your presence. Chong Li, stat wise, right? The guy is 5'6". He's 5'6", but he comes off as a guy who's like 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
That shows the masculine energy of like, it shows your fucking mentality and your charisma. And the guy is a man of few words, and he's so epic for what he is. And yeah,
he blows his nose at you. That's
100%, man.
Right.
It's a good one said so many times, man. This film is watching it again, Nick, before streaming during the stream. It's objectively a dumb film, but I can just keep watching it over and over and over again. I don't know why. It's something. It's like 80s bad films had a certain charm that like 2025 films don't understand.
Yeah, they basically like, especially like the action movies. I mean, they go right at like the reptile portion of your brain and understood it because they were made by real men. And so we know, you know, what men want more than anything else. What you have now is a committee of women and then a couple of gay guys trying to figure out what action movies are. They're not going to get it.
Because it's like, as much as we joke about Frank Dux, right? Frank Dux' character, he does train, he does make mistakes, he does win the fight, but like he does get his ass kicked. Like he's not a Mary Sue. The guy does actually have to try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Prophetic is has got our new national anthem. And the snot rockets red flare, the heads bursting in air.
It proved.
Amazing.
That Frank Dux was still there.
Yeah, no, so Jean-Claude Van Damme is well, it says he's 5'10". Could be 5'9".
I need a bigger X. I am doubting that shit so hard. I think that he's like 5'5".
I was gonna say I was gonna say like he's also 5'6", like Chong is, because
he's tiny man.
in the screenshots you can see that
Goddamn Chong
they
Li.
look level-headed, like as in just their like the height is at their
I'm saying,
top
Nick.
of their heads.
Yeah. It's just that Chong Li is like twice the width.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's also his attitude, the way he carries himself. He doesn't seem like
he has that big dick energy. I mean, it's
100%, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he thinks that well, he might be like 5'6", but he walks around like he's 6'3".
What's we say?
You know?
It's like there's so many. There's not a complex backstory for Chong Li. Chong Li is just a fucking badass who says like 5 lines the entire film, and that's it. That's all you need.
Yeah, and then his actions speak.
Exactly. Yeah. And the film is only 90 minutes. That's it. Holy shit, man! I miss those days.
I'm sorry, Rossi.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's a former friend.
You fucking
Our
gourd.
question is, are you still best friends with them?
You see Gourd King?
He does walk the walk.
Jeez.
Yeah, some people talk the talk, but Chong walks the walk.
God, you asshole.
Is the best friend Rossi replaceable or what? Because
I mean, they voted himself off the island with that decision. So
yeah, that is a.
What's like you're saying, Nick? It's like the fact that the last scene between Jackson and Frank is just he tells him, he's like, "Listen, bro, I love you. I love you." Gives him a fucking hug, and that's it. Like that was. There's so many guys. Good one knows it, man. There's certain friends where you call your friend on the phone, then this guy would help you bury a body, man.
Yep.
It's a shit film, and not because Amber Heard's in it, but there's nothing good about it. So
it's metaphorically shit, not literal.
Metaphorically shit.
Yeah, I still love it.
White Bear.
Yeah.
What would you give this? Wait, did you give it a rating, Blue? I'm sorry, I don't know if I caught your number.
I mean, in terms of masculine energy, the film is a fucking 9 out of 10.
Yeah, he gave it a 9.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I thought I heard. But okay, White Bear, what would you give this movie in terms of a masculinity rating?
Yeah, masculinity rating it's gotta be up there, at least an 8. Because the only closest thing to a firearm in the movie was a dirt devil, dirt buster thing and all that. But other than that, I mean, this was a movie that a lot of us kind of grew up in nostalgia with and talked with all of our friends about.
Right.
So it was pretty peak. So I at least got to give it an 8 on the masculinity rating. As far as it goes for just movies, it's kind of down there, but
it's a lot down there.
Yeah. I mean, it's to the point when you're saying like, would you rather, hurt this or that part of your body or watch this movie? It's like, well,
Yep.
I mean, can that grow back? Is that, I don't know. Do I have 2 of those? So.
Right.
Goodwin. What's your rating?
So I mean, it's I rate the movie less on its the masculinity within the movie, and more the masculinity it inspires in the viewer. Because this thing is a hunk of shit. It is.
He's so right.
It's a steaming pile of shit, and I can't tell you how many times I've seen it. Again, this is the the I like a thing. That doesn't mean it's good.
Yep.
Right. This is bad. I still like it. I don't care.
That's why I love Jay.
All right. It just is what it is. But I think there are moments of masculinity in this, but they're cartoon in almost all of the presentations, right? I mean, it is fucking, but that's that's kind of the point, right? This is almost like an ancient style of theater where you have these overblown characters, and the idea is not to convey useful information to you, or give you a moral lesson or anything like that. It's basically to like inspire, uh again, like your lizard brain, to go, this ludicrousness is what we aspire to, knowing damn well nobody's ever reaching this. But when you watch this, I mean, you get a little pumped up, right? Like, I'm about to kick somebody in the face too. Let's go.
100%.
And that's why, I mean, the masculinity that it inspires in the audience is probably a solid 8. And if you're like 14 to 18, it's probably 10, right? You're out there kicking shit just because, right? You might blow your nose at somebody, just, what's up? You're trying desperately to make your non-existent pecs bounce. This is what this movie does, right? But again, the if you were just evaluating this, like, what's the internal masculinity? Punch people. Yo, bro, what's up? Bros before hoes. The don't be stupid when stealing from people. And if you do, then become, their student, and then, end up in a tournament where you can kill people. These are useful life lessons, I believe. It's just, it is such an absurd cartoon movie. The relationship with him and Jackson is, it becomes like sloppy soap opera shit, and I don't care. I'm fine with it, right? Yeah, the movie itself probably has like a masculinity like a 5, because it is such a one-dimensional. Here's some things, right? We're gonna do these at absurd levels of that stop being masculine, start being cartoon. But yeah, there's not a lot of, there's really no character growth.
Yeah.
We see some growth in flashback.
There's none.
Right? the once we get Frank Dux, he is at his apex. He is perfection. Mary Sue's were invented to try and imitate Frank Dux. It is a silly movie, and it has no redeeming intellectual features. But trust me, it will hit you right in the limbic system. And here we go. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Like in especially from the aspect of being a teenager in high school, which is when I saw this. So and you kind of create those sort of imaginary moments where, like, yeah, I would totally do this, and like I would totally a fight, like, oh my god, like how sick would that be? Like, oh my god, this dude just killed this guy, like wanting to do like the types of kicks, and it's like, oh, you just got punched in the nuts. Like there's just a lot of hype that goes into a movie like this, especially if you're watching it when it first came out, or in the 90s as a teenager. And but when you look at the movie for what it is, there's not good whatsoever. And when I just looked up like the regular rating by itself on IMDb, just as a comparison, where I think I closed the tab on accident, but it I want to say it was like the average rating for Bloodsport was a 6.8 out of 10. Again, that's on IMDb. So you can also kind of take that with a grain of salt, but I don't know what I would rate it as a regular movie. Not high, but for the sake of the masculinity, yeah, like aside from the fighting, because that's what it is called, Bloodsport. Someone dies, someone gets punched in the nuts. There's a lot of someone gets hospitalized, right? Like if you take out the fighting and the death, like what do you have left? Like, sure, yeah, there's the brotherhood between Ray and Frank, but that's about it. Like they stay the same.
Make this a movie about a chess tournament,
right?
That a kid is, there's a guy who's a chess master, and he's teaching his son, and then his son dies, but somebody tried to steal his chess set, and he teaches it, whatever. This thing is, nobody gives a damn about this movie, right? But because we punch the balls, we punch the face, we kick people, then suddenly it just goes way off. Even though like the masculinity is near the same, right? It's still
Yep.
testing your metal against the best and all that, right? That's this thing is so distorted because it goes right to your lizard brain.
And the sad thing, Boosh, is that I'm sure there are people who do rate this a 10.
Oh yeah,
And again, like
I could see why.
we can like it.
yeah. I mean, it's
How
no
you doing,
Revenge of the
Gary Busey?
Ninja, but it's
Yeah. It's like it's like when we were talking about Judge Dredd, like you can like the movie, but it's about
it's shit.
It's about it. Is that Frank Dux fighting demons?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. But yeah, sure, it's close enough.
Yeah, I would probably give it. I'd probably give it an 8 as well.
What would you get the chess version of this movie?
The
In
chess
terms of
version?
masculinity, yeah. Big chess tournament. Right, you've had to work hard. You had to train.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's like,
exactly.
it's
Because this
super
is
low.
I hit somebody in the nuts.
3?
This is fucking. It's an 8.
I'm trying to equate like so like for the moments where like, okay, what would like punching someone in the nuts, like that would equate to like maybe you lose it, like the main character loses the chess match.
Ha!
And like
In passant, motherfucker. What's
like,
up? Bang!
like
Oh shit!
It knocks the chess board over or whatever, like knocks the piece because
Rage quit.
Rage quit, exactly. So like, I'd probably give it.
You're getting in his mind,
3.
right? You fucking with him. Am I going to do this? Whatever. He's sweating. He's thinking you're going to do this classic tactic. No, surprise, bitch. What's up? Yeah, this is a 3. That's because, again, this is a movie that exists only because it goes right to the limbic system and is like, here, let me play this.
Fondling would be
Oh
the chess
yeah.
equivalent.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And yeah, if we end the poll, same thing. 8 out of 10 is the majority.
Yeah.
And again,
and I think Rob Nund is right. This is wrestling.
Yeah.
Right. It's what the attraction to it.
Or Rick.
No, I think it's the guy who got the gold tooth.
Mm-hmm.
What do we call him? Melvin, the mop boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the private who was trying to catch Frank
sneak a
naked in the
peek.
showers.
Yeah, sneak a peek. Yeah.
So
it definitely wasn't Mongolian Jackson.
No, not at all. I mean,
that was a
he
Chad.
fainted after him, but exactly him too. So, yeah, I mean, that's all there really is to this movie. So it's short, and thank God it is, because they
just would have filled it with more sad synth and actually I was remembering so the guy who sings Kumite, there's also like a power ballad in this as well, right? That he sings.
Yes.
And I've always held that any rock group that goes power ballad, their career is dying. They have now decided to just fuck it. We're trying to appeal to 13-year-old girls. It's our last gasp or whatever. This guy does that in the same movie. He goes from power rock, with the Kumite, Fight to Survive, and then he does the power ballad within the span of 90 minutes. That is a career run.
Kind of sad, right?
Yeah, I mean, but he does have that Transformers song, so you got that going for him.
Oh yeah.
I forgot to play this clip, but it's a fitting moment for our dear old friend Ray Jackson.
You might have to go up against me next time.
I promise.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are out of your minds.
I'll drink to that.
His like left eye looks a little crazy.
That's why I said he has got a lazy eye as well. And you take him and Forrest Whitaker, see which one is it, the right or the left eye that's lazy on which one, right? I think we can get 2 good eyes out of these guys.
Yeah, is it so it's Ray's left eye, and isn't it Forrest's left eye as well?
No, right.
Is it? I would- I think it's two
I
lefts.
think it. Yeah,
I think it's his right eye.
Yeah, you're right.
Two lefts don't make a right.
He was so surprised it kind of opened back there. So
But 3 rights make a left.
I was waiting for the girl to say she was pregnant. Duke's sperm kicked right through the goddamn.
Oh yeah. Actually, there was a huge population boom in Hong Kong after he left.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what sparked the billion.
Well, they were all looking at his giant balls when he was there on that stone temple.
Well, if he has two left eyes, they'll just look Chinese, right?
We have the technology. We can rebuild them.
Two refs don't make a right.
Jesus.
Rhino horn and Frank Dux sweat.
Yep. Sack sweat and rhino horn. That's what you need.
Yeah.
CD walk.
City walk. I can take an order. Well, I think that'll about do it for the Bloodsport discussion. We will never cover a sequel Bloodsport movie.
No, hell no. That would be the antithesis of masculinity.
I'm sorry to disappoint.
Are we going to cover Jim Cotta?
That is torture porn.
Now, will Niat ever cover it? Maybe.
I know that motherfucker has Jim Cotta waiting for us.
Yeah.
God.
That's coming in 2026, y'all.
Yeah,
Or he's listening.
Or he's
Don't do
doing the Bloodsport cinematic universe where we have to cover them all, just like we did with Predator and Alien.
We're doing Bloodsport 1, 2, 3, and 4
Yeah,
for a whole month.
Yeah, but the lead in will be Jim Cotta because it was first.
Right. Oh God.
Major works of fiction here.
There is one thing I want to shout out though. Is that, yes, this
Calm
is
down, Nick.
Yeah,
We're getting revved up over here.
Yeah.
Mine gurus.
The Canon put out a lot of shit, but all of them are like beloved classics for like guys who grew up in the 80s because they absolutely knew what to make that would appeal to like teenage guys, and it was get fucked, Waylon, get fucked. I would watch the entirety of the Bloodsport cinematic universe, then watch that fucking piece of shit again.
Holy shit.
I would actually like to roundhouse kick Damon Lindelof for writing Prometheus.
Okay, can we send Frank Dux back in time to prevent Prometheus from ever being written?
Yeah, prevent Damon Lindelof
from ever trying to make.
Well, I mean, we could do with Van Damme with Time Cop.
That's true. I think we are supposed to be covering Time Cop.
Oh God, Jesus wept. Oh my Lord.
Not us, but I think on Niat's channel, yeah.
Oh, of course we will.
So I could be
that
wrong.
Man
but I
is
thought
a
so.
sadist. I'm suddenly sending funds to the emus. Let's conquer Australia once and for all.
My war donations have transferred sides momentarily.
Exactly. I'm starting running guns for them.
1.21 gigadux. Time Cop is good.
Well, that's an opinion.
I like Hard Target.
Oh God.
You caught a snake.
Time part man, part time off.
Yeah. Tis the season.
Picks up Dukes.
Let's get down to it.
Yeah. Well, I listen. Chad, you guys have been on it tonight.
Yes.
I mean, you guys usually are here on Masculine Mondays, and I definitely appreciate it. All the masculinity in the chat, even the women that have popped in and out from time to time. You women rock. You appreciate the good masculinity being spread here, much like Frank Dux.
They appreciate being spread.
Swimmers.
Legs.
I would imagine.
Okay.
But not by other women though, by men.
Yeah. Masculine men.
The right kind.
Yeah.
Of right kind.
No
of
Timothy
spread.
Chalamet.
Yeah. No twink spreading here.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, I mean, listen, every week y'all have been bringing it more and more and more, which is amazing. Next week we are going to be covering the 13th Warrior.
Oh,
Good movie.
Which,
Holy shit.
so we're just skipping to the 13th one and not going through the whole series. Okay.
Right. Yeah. We're just going to cut straight to the third. We're not going to pull in the at and have to go with the first Warrior. And
it's like the
second
Naughty
and so
Nurses
forth.
series, really.
12.
The 13th episode.
Right.
That's the one that really speak. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And women usually aren't able to pop in and out. That's very true.
The talented ones can.
Yeah. We don't call them women, but
well, I mean, ping pong balls.
Hell
cigarettes.
yeah, Rick.
There
That's
you
what we
go.
love to hear. Listen, the goal is still to make Leon fully masculine. Okay.
It's true.
The more he's on here,
Listen.
we've seen results. Okay.
Yeah. Masculine Monday Laboratories has been working hard at this, and we believe we have a formula to work.
I don't know who's playing grab ass, but I damn sure know, who's playing dick punch. So for the 13th Warrior, got Leon will actually be on that show.
Oh my.
And who'll also be on it as a first timer? Actually, we've got two first timers. We've
two
got
versions.
Oh my!
We've got Mr. Melvin Deeply.
Oh,
Only the deepest of Melvins will do.
yes.
Not the mop cleaner Melvin, but
No.
yeah. And then we've got the sweet summer child. She's only seen a couple movies, not a lot.
Oh Lord.
We got Horror with Nats coming on.
Oh my Lord.
When I think Warriors, I think Leon.
Yeah.
Leon's gonna be on that show as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
When I think 13, I think of the number of movies that Nadia's actually seen.
That's probably accurate, Goodwin. That's probably accurate. I think she's only seen this one because it definitely deals with the D&D element
oh my god.
of having a full makeup group.
Jesus Christ.
Not makeup as in what she does, but lofty goal. Yeah. Freaking casted a Hispanic guy as an heir for the 13th one. I know, dude, and that's an interesting point, Rossi. But we could probably bring that.
Wait
up
till
next
we
week for
cover
sure.
Highlander, a Scottish guy who's an Egyptian but also Spanish.
Yep.
Sean Connery can do whatever he wants. I
I
don't.
mean,
Okay,
exactly. Yeah. It's Sean goddamn Connery.
Yeah.
Heyo. We want him to go from words of paradise to words of
Paradise.
paradise.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, could
Hopefully he
someone clip that
stops
for
throwing
him?
snake eyes.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You keep playing that, you'll never turn Leona. Never say never, though. Never say never.
She's coming back, I'm telling you.
If she does, she might get thrown into a body of water. If we can get Leon to not run into a stripper pole whenever he sees one, I think we've accomplished a lot. I know, exactly. And the biggest...
Especially one without a stripper.
Right. The biggest notification for that will be at the next meetup.
There you go.
Jesus Christ. The clip I made of that is better. Okay, Jacob, I need to check that out.
Look at
Leon Booty Warrior.
Look at White Bear.
I love
yeah.
Leon.
We should observe the masculine genius of Velocipaster for Nadia.
That's true.
Mm.
I mean, she's already had the full effect. I mean, we did that on Canoli's MMM.
That is my favorite video of 2024.
She refused to accept the truth.
In Leon's defense, his most masculine quality is takes a lot of abuse and doesn't seem to phase him. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Jake. I mean, Leon.
Yeah, he's kind of like Mongolian Jackson, right?
right.
You know,
I was gonna
I've always
say.
said, Leon's ass can take a lot of pounding.
it's true. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
and has.
Gay!
Uh, uh, yeah. I lost my train of thought there. No, but I'm definitely looking
course
forward
you did.
to next
It's-
week.
I hope you're not thinking about pounding Leon's ass.
No, I'm not.
Okay, all right.
Although and I thought of something. Okay, and for those of you watching, the one thing I want you to do when we're discussing next week's film, and the characters that are involved, I want to see who you think Leon would be of those characters. Okay, food for thought as you maybe watch it next week and you're
Yeah, that could be
talk about it.
a poll. There may be a poll
Oh
involved.
my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Might be some type of poll involved.
Yeah, well, preferably not the stripper.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to it because the fact that we'll have Melvin on it and Nadia, it should be and Leon, it should be an interesting take, and you'll see myself, Goodwin, and Blair will be coming back, so we'll have a full cast with us, and Jake, you never disappoint me, man. One of the best mods out there.
Things my wife never says.
The black guy. Yeah, there's a poll. He's on it. I know. He's probably watching Loki while also doing Moxies and like these son of a bitches. That's all right though. But yeah, that being said, I appreciate all the likes, all the people watching on both on X and
Goddamn right.
YouTube. Love doing this. Obviously, we're trying to create and spread the new type of culture out there, make people aware of masculinity again, and to just make movies like they used to. Not as bad as Bloodsport, but obviously like some of the better movies we've covered in the last several weeks.
I mean, I would nominate this movie for an Oscar if it came out this year.
That's true. If this movie came out this year, I feel like it would do rather well.
It would do.
Yeah.
I don't know if Vex would rant about it in a bad way.
She would.
Oh no.
about
Well,
being
first
bad.
of all, Vex would need all the towels because there is so much beef in this movie.
That's true. That's probably why she didn't want to be on it tonight.
Oh yeah.
Too much leakage.
Plus, she's old, late and lazy.
I did enjoy Prophetic's comment there about Leon's most masculine quality is Hondo, and Hondo shits on him.
Jesus Christ.
R.I.P. Hondo.
That poor bird.
Yeah.
I know. But
That's
I mean, yeah.
Mm.
I know. Yeah. R.I.P. Hondo. Yeah. Leon's desire to do hot sauce shots is questionable masculinity.
So awesome.
I said he needed to step it up and start doing wasabi.
Yeah.
Get on Steve-O's level or not.
I'll do it.
But new miniseries on Disney Plus, Bloodsport. I just hope they wouldn't turn it into like the type of Bloodsport.
It would be about menstruation.
Menstruation, exactly.
Yeah.
The bears can smell the menstruation.
You said Rabnat said Wakanda forever.
Wakanda.
Yes.
Radnad, you need to say that in his chat.
Yes.
Nick has
Please.
Nick has the best chat.
Yeah, honestly,
Well, you come in, your T levels go up, along with high T, always humor.
Yes.
I feel less gay.
Yeah, that's the point, and especially with what we're dealing with, in this month here, But in terms of the rest of this month, we've got some banger movies. There's gonna be a lot of high tea flowing. The week after the 13th Warrior, I'm gonna be doing a birthday stream because I do age, and I've got some things planned for it. So stay tuned for that. It should be fun. We might play some sort of game as well that multiple people can join in on. I'm thinking Among Us, potentially. I'm trying to think of something else that was like it's free to play and doesn't require a lot of like things to get involved. But
I mean, that may be unfair because we'll all vote Leon.
And I think it'll be hilarious, right?
We'll all vote Leon.
Like we'll just vote Leon every single time just so he rages.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
you know,
But like, dude, everybody else masculine.
well, yeah.
You seem to be the different one here. I don't know. It's
You do want to kill
Oh,
off
you
the weakest link.
yeah. The power of one, the power of two, the power of Frank Dux.
Power of many.
Yep. Vex said she'd love to get drinks with Nick and I after making it. Oh, we're totally doing that, dude. 100%. She will be on the on my birthday stream, Rossi. So
Nice.
you know, maybe we'll,
Short King will be there.
Oh my
we
god.
might talk about some black comedy as well. Just
But there's a white girl in it.
That's my new screensaver.
or is she brown? In the Evil Mirror universe, you'd be reviewing Tu Wong Fu.
Yo, I actually watched that.
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
I watched that film a couple months ago, and Tu Wong Fu is a kind of funny film.
Oh god.
Have you ever seen Priscilla, Queen of the Desert?
It's been a while.
That is Terrence Stamp is magnificent
Thank
in that
you,
Oh
movie.
my god, he's
Right. He
I better see you
is
there.
he is so done with
Beautiful.
everybody.
yeah.
Right. And then the whole Abbaturd thing. It's hilarious.
Jeez. What else you guys got going on this week? Final
What?
closeout. Gonna be anywhere else? Doing any other streams? What you guys got going on?
Well, Nick, Nadia, before your channel, your stream is supposed to bring her back. So tomorrow.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
being-
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing the Bring Her Back, the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Nadia had some personal stuff going on. So
She had
Gotcha.
a delay.
yeah.
What the hell is that? Vex. Whitey Rossi wants to know where that picture's from.
Oh, also, yeah, Wednesday, Nick, I'm doing Superman 2, so I'm trying to change my overlay because Goodwin was in my chat for Superman 1. They fucking WB blocked my video, dude.
Oh,
I'm
dude, I'll go,
shocked
Jake.
and amazed.
Oh, Christ.
WB are
I'm
the
just
kings
I'm
of
just so mad, Jake, because arguably Goodwin was the best part of my fucking chat, and afterwards they fucking blocked. It's going on 3 years since YouTube, Nick, and like no, they've never once blocked a video. My first blocked video. I'm like, holy Christ, man, for Superman, Jesus, man. So
That sucks, dude.
yeah. So hopefully Wednesday it goes better. So Wednesday we're doing Superman 2, yeah, with Terrence Stamp. So we'll see how it goes.
Nice.
Oh God, that's Zod.
I will see Wednesday. I will be on ABF's
Yeah.
Trigger Happy stream. Hopefully that doesn't get flagged. I might have a gaming stream.
Nice.
I don't know if I'm gonna do it tomorrow night because I need to tamper with OBS and get some multi-stream crap taken care of.
I'm pissed you're playing Helldivers. I miss Helldivers. It's such a great game.
Oh, dude, I've been having a lot of fun on
I fucking
Helldivers,
love
honestly.
Helldivers, man. Oh,
America.
America.
If I do, it might be like for just a couple hours. Maybe after Gucci streams, like maybe at 11. But more than likely, Thursday night I'll probably definitely game. Might be Helldivers most likely. But in the event that depending on who else can join, I might play Star Wars Battlefront 2. Although I might play it tomorrow night and then wait for Helldivers on Thursday. So
That game is
I'll
fun. Yeah.
I'll make a post about it and throw a thumbnail up, and that'll probably just paint the picture easier. Yeah, all good. All good, Jake. Don't worry about that. Looks up Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. No thanks. All right. With that in mind, again, thank you for everyone who's watched, subscribed, liked the video, watched it for any length of time. I appreciate it. Chat, and everyone in chat. You guys are fucking legends. I really do mean that. You guys help make this stream and what we do even better. And I hope that your T levels raise and are stay healthy like Frank Dux for the remainder of the week and weekend until we're back here next Monday night for the 13th Warrior. And we'll end on what video do you want to end on? We'll do this one. Okay, we'll end on this one too.
That hurts me just looking at it.
All right, and this.
Aren't you a little old for video games?
You want to go at it again, huh?
Yeah.
Not bad, kid. Name's Ray Jackson.
I'm Frank Dux.
My name's
Cheers,
Jeff.
everyone.